your home for the Cowboys.
Stretched that all the way, runs it in for the touchdown.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs are facing elimination and a must-win as they trail the New York Knicks 3-1 heading into Game 5. Luckily, that game is back in San Antonio at the Forst Bank Center tomorrow night. Tip-off is set for 7:30, and that game will be televised on ABC. In the Stanley Cup Finals, the Hurricanes are a game away from being Stanley Cup champions after beating Vegas 4-2.
Sports Center brought to you by SAPDcareers.com. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Friday. And man, I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday. It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel on vacation. I'm Jason Minix. A must-win game for the Spurs tomorrow night at the Forst Bank Center. We have actually gotten to the must-win, official, by definition, true statement. But, man, I woke up this morning, and yesterday was a therapy session. I was pissed off most of the day yesterday. And it's interesting because even people that I've interacted with today doing different things, they're feeling a lot better about the Spurs game tomorrow night. I don't know if they're feeling better about the Spurs actually winning the series, but winning at home. And that's all the San Antonio Spurs can do at this point. Win the next one, and then win the next one, and then you're at a Game 7, you win that one, and you're the champs. So the question today, will there be a Game 6? That is the poll question on our YouTube page. Go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. On YouTube, you can click through quickly through sasportstar.com. But will there be a Game 6? And I know for a lot of us, and I'm this way too, how does that group overcome mentally what happened to them the other night in New York City? Up 29 at Madison Square Garden, and you lose. How do you get over it? Wemby said today, just about an hour ago, they're over it.
Game. I wouldn't say it was so hard to say like shake off, right? But harder than any other game before, by far, for sure. But I mean, now we're over it. It's the playoffs. There's no time to regret things for too long.
Yeah, they're over it. Yeah, I mean, and that's what you have to do. And maybe that is part of just being young. They don't have a choice but to get over it, but mentally can they get over it? I used the 2013 example a lot yesterday. Tim Duncan and crew couldn't get over the Ray Allen shot in a Game 6. There was a Game 7. I was there in Miami. I don't remember a damn thing about a Game 7. I still don't know that I'm over the Ray Allen shot. But can this group actually do it? This team, as Wemby said earlier today, believes it can still win the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody knows we're gonna do it. But I don't know if I agree with you. I feel like we need to isolate that one game and take it one game at a time. I think it'd be a mistake to waste our energy on different, on multiple games. It's one game at a time.
And that's what it is. At this point, it truly is one game at a time, because if they lose, their season is over. You're not going to go win 3 at one. The question is, does Mitch Johnson in his rookie year as a head coach say the right things, push the right buttons? Because dude is deservedly so taking a lot of criticism for what happened the other night. And when you have a lead that big, your coach is going to get criticized. De'Aaron Fox, with some of the plays he made down the stretch, he knows he's a veteran player, shouldn't have made those mistakes. He has taken a lot of criticism. And it comes with the territory. And when you're a pro athlete, if you're a pro coach, you understand. You do something like that, fire you, trade you, all that stuff, it comes with the territory. Can they block out the noise? And while I was not there in person because I have to be here during the finals, all this stuff is going on in the middle of the day. And so I wasn't down there. But with the videos that I was watching, it certainly seemed like the attitude and the demeanor was where it needed to be. There weren't a bunch of guys sulking, going through the motions. Yeah, I got to be here. All right. I mean, it quite honestly, the attitude is what you have seen from this group, whether they were up in a series or down in the series. And that might have been the most impressive part of the media sessions that I saw today. And again, wasn't there. I don't know what it was like before or after they were on the podium. If there were any casual conversations happening off to the side, I have no idea what that was like. I was not there today. But with what I saw, I was impressed with what I saw because it didn't feel like it was doom and gloom when you know you're down and it's just a matter of time. You know, the term expectant. They didn't look or act like a group that was expectant. And kind of like what it sounded like when they were down to Oklahoma City. The attitude was right. The comments were right. They know they're up against it. They're not idiots. They know the hole that they have dug. But they also know, as Mitch Johnson said after the game, they've contributed to each one of their losses, which was a very clever Stanford-type way of saying, yeah, we gave those things away. And again, by crediting the New York Knicks, the Knicks have made, as you know, great plays down the stretch. They have made plays when it mattered. The Spurs made mistakes when it mattered. And that is why this series is 3-1. Knicks. It could be the other way around. And depending on how this whole thing plays out, while I think it's still a little too early to be looking ahead to the bright future this young team has, because in the moment I want it now. I'm greedy, and there are no guarantees. I mean, they're going to be expected to be in the finals every year for the next several years. That doesn't mean that they will. Oklahoma City was expected to be in the finals for years to come. They got one. Boston was in that group. Hell, I thought Boston would be in the finals this year. They didn't make it out of the first round. I mean, so there are no guarantees. There's expectations, and the expectations for this Spurs team are certainly going to change moving forward, but no guarantees. So I know there's a lot of you, and maybe you do it to make yourself feel better. Well, you know what? The Knicks are going to get this one. Good for them, but we've got a bunch coming. And if that makes you feel better, cool. I'm greedy. And again, if they win tomorrow night in front of a whole bunch of Knicks fans, because it will be a New York Knicks takeover, then isn't all the pressure going back on New York to try to close it out on their home floor in a Game 6? And we know the Spurs can win there. They've gotten a win at the Garden in this series, and they were up 29. I mean, it's hard to imagine they lost that game being up 29. And even then, some incredible plays by New York down the stretch, coupled with some incredible bonehead plays by the San Antonio Spurs down the stretch. De'Aaron Fox. I put on my story earlier. It's been sent to me by about 15 people on Instagram. I just shared it on my story at Jason Minix from the 05 finals. Manu Ginobili. You know, the Pistons are at the line. The inbounds pass, Manu had broken away, had an easy layup, and he dribbles the ball out. And Al Michaels on the call. Manu dribbling it out to use time and got fouled. I mean, it's awareness. That's what it is. That's why I think so many people are down on De'Aaron Fox. A play like that. And as Antonio Daniels told us yesterday in the locker room, what made it more aggravating is he doubled down on it. He didn't say, yeah, I didn't make the right play. He said, I thought I could outrun him. Guy's playing on a bum ankle. And I'll give him credit for playing on the bum ankle. I know he is not near 100%. And I don't know that he is hurting the team more than helping. But in some of those crucial moments, De'Aaron Fox isn't helping the team. But I don't think that Mitch Johnson tonight, or tomorrow night, is going to go with some drastic change and bench De'Aaron Fox and all the things that us armchair coaches want to do. I don't see that happening. There are some things that I do want to see Mitch Johnson do tomorrow night. And I don't know how he does this, but he's got to figure out a way to make sure Wemby has enough left in the gas tank in the fourth quarter. Because with the minutes that Wemby is playing, you can tell he is wearing down. So that's got to be a huge challenge for Mitch Johnson and that coach and that coaching staff to balance when they can steal rest for Victor Wembanyama, because fatigue has certainly been a factor.
Definitely a factor, but it's the playoffs. Everybody's just as tired. And, it shouldn't even be a factor in the game. Now we got 2 days in between games. It's not going to be a factor.
And maybe that's true, because we've seen Vic on 1 day's rest versus Vic on 2 days rest. But when he's playing that many minutes, and you can tell when that dude is tired, he starts taking a bunch of threes, the missed free throws, the legs aren't there. Shots are short. He's not going to use excuses, but you can see the energy level, the bounce, all of it from the first half to the second and the minutes that he's playing. The problem is, and this is what Mitch has to figure out, and man, Luke Cornett's been great all year, but in the Western Conference Finals and the finals, he's not the answer. And Mitch knows that, which is why he is riding Vic the way he is. But fourth quarter, I need Vic to have more energy than what he's had, and that's been a problem.
He's got to be able to give you more than 4 minutes.
You would think, but
you're up 29. You couldn't have stole some rest during that period?
Dude, again, the other night, there's no excuse for Vic to have the minutes that he did. But I could see where Mitch, and let's be honest, have an honest conversation. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. It's easy in hindsight to go 2020 and you should have done. But in the moment, all of us have watched this scrappy Knicks team enough to know they are going to make a run, right? So you got to keep playing aggressive. Don't allow them to start getting any momentum. So I'm with you. Third quarter, why is Vic even out there? I think he was out there to try to prevent what happened. And again, stay aggressive, stay within their offense. Well, those threes were working in the first half. They weren't dropping in the second, but you were trying to keep your foot on that gas pedal. I can totally see why Mitch Johnson and the team was doing what it was doing, while it felt so unnecessary and still does feel unnecessary. But you have to balance doing what we were doing with awareness. Those threes with more than 15 seconds on the shot clock are bad ideas. Even if you were making them, they're bad ideas, because when you have a lead like that, pass the ball around, use as much of the shot clock as you can, and shorten the freaking game. Limit the amount of opportunities the Knicks are getting. So while trying to have that killer instinct and keep the foot on the gas pedal, which I appreciate the idea behind it. All right, if we're up 29, can we get up 39? I'm with you, but you've got to do it in the appropriate way, and I don't think Vic or that Spurs team did, Mitch and that Spurs team, by going with all those threes. And now he's got to figure out Wemby and rest. And Wemby can say it shouldn't be a problem with 2 days off, but it's been a problem deep in the playoffs where he seems to run out of gas in the fourth quarter. And for a guy that was playing 25, 30 minutes a game during the regular season, now playing 40 and 40 physical minutes, the abuse that he's taking. I forget which show I saw it on, and it might have been a social media clip because I've seen so many, but former player saying, with the abuse that Wemby's taken, I'm surprised he hasn't knocked somebody out yet. Just take a swing and hit him, right? He's going to have that control because of that flagrant now. But Mitch Johnson balancing the rest. Must-win game for the Spurs. Do they keep this series alive? Will there be a Game 6? Simple yes or no question. That is the poll question on YouTube this afternoon. Go vote. Right now, 84% say yes. or New Yorkers that are listening in say no at 16%. We had a lot of calls yesterday from New York. And if you're new to the program, if you're listening from New York or you're here in South Texas and just want to hear good sports talk, appreciate you tuning in. Be a part of the show, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you know you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. They have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, honking your horn on Southwest Military, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinigle here for Window Nation. You know, it is June. Summer is here along with those hot summer days, and that means constant AC use and high energy bills. It is time to upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy-efficient ones and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com to book that consultation.
This World Cup season, there's only one place to experience every USA match with fellow fans: Social Spot in San Antonio. Join them for the ultimate World Cup watch parties featuring giant screens, delicious food, tasty snacks, ice-cold beer, and the electrifying atmosphere of soccer's biggest tournament. Bring your friends, wear your red, white, and blue, and cheer on Team USA every step of the way. Catch all the action at Social Spot, 930 Broadway. Social Spot and San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the 2026 World Cup watch parties. Don't miss a minute of the excitement.
You could win unmatched views of the match during the Twin Peaks Go for the Gold giveaway presented by Michelob Ultra and Casamigos. Visit TwinPeaksSoccer.com to enter for your chance to win by June 14th. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 9 plant protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 mushroom coffee sticks. And now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's RADIO to 64,000.
Baseball fans, check out the inaugural season of the San Antonio River Monsters, part of the TCL, a wood bat league featuring some of the best college players. A monster-sized good time for the entire family. Get your tickets today at rivermonstersbaseball.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off Super Paint, Super Deck, and Woodscapes products June 12th through the 22nd. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira Joyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the morning huddles. Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Play ball! Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits one, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Make your pick and win with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers. The Spurs and the Knicks. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, Friday, feeling a lot better today than yesterday. Yesterday, I was just angry. Today, hopeful, almost confident as we get ready for Game 5 of the NBA Finals tomorrow night at the Forst Bank Center, even though the Spurs are down 3-1. It is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate you. You can find us on YouTube. SASportsStar.com, a quick link through, or if you're on YouTube, just search out San Antonio Sports Star. If you're listening online or one of the many apps, appreciate you doing that. A lot of comments on the YouTube page, and you can also dial us up the old-fashioned way. Let's talk about it. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. The realist part of things are there. The Spurs have, obviously, a very, very tall task. 3 teams have forced a Game 7 when trailing 3-1. The Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016 are the only team that has actually won a championship while being down 3-1 and won. But a total of 3 have forced a Game 7. And if the Spurs can force a Game 6, the pressure's on New York. And then a Game 7 would be back here in San Antonio, obviously. The 8-game road winning streak for the New York Knicks in the postseason is pretty incredible. And it's hard to imagine that this Spurs team that has been so good at home would lose 3 straight home games. And so when you look at it that way, and then you look at the line, Vegas, I don't know what the hell they're doing, the teaser, whatever the hell it is, but I mean, last I looked, and Pledge, you can look it up real quick, Spurs were a 5.5-point favorite tomorrow night, which honestly surprises me. The way this series has gone, the fact that we've had 2 1-point Knicks wins and 1 4-point San Antonio win, and then you had the 1 10-point win by the Knicks. That was a 1-point game with just over 2 minutes to play. That now you have a line that's 5.5. And I'm trying to figure out what Vegas is trying to tell me with that line. They're telling you that the Spurs are the better team, but can they close the deal? Which is something they have not done this entire series. And the Knicks have a whole lot to do with that. And it's that balance. The Spurs have had opportunities to win every game. You could argue they should have won every game. Or at the very least be up 3-1. But the Knicks have made the plays and the Spurs haven't. And now the Spurs are in a must-win situation. Which, again, if you're going through their film study, if you're your coaches, the Spurs coaches talking to their guys, I know it's down 3-1. And this is where you get as cliche as you can be. And Jalen Brunson has kind of been this way, and he's on a team that's up 3-1 and 0-0. It's the next game is all that matters. And that's the attitude that this Spurs team has to have. You can't look beyond tomorrow night because there is no beyond tomorrow night unless you win. They can't go get the next 2 to force the Game 7 if they don't take care of business tomorrow night. And that's taking care of business in the fourth quarter. And while we have yet to see a blowout on the final score, Because the other night we had 2 blowouts, one in the first half and one in the second half that turned out to be a 1-point Knicks win. But there's yet to be a blowout in the series, and you kind of feel like there's got to be one. I mean, it's this series, from the competitive nature, from the entertainment standpoint, has just been off the charts. And you see the New York fans celebrating like mad because their team is winning. And we're pissed off because our team is losing. But if you're just a basketball fan, this has been great. This has been a great series, a far better series than many thought, yet it's 3-1. This series could just go 5 games, and it's been one of the better final series in recent memory. But it's tomorrow night when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You know what I love about technology in today's world? Because I've been doing radio for a long time. And with the internet, with YouTube, people are listening in from all over. And yesterday we had a ton of people. What was it, 7 calls from New York or New Jersey yesterday? Had that one lady late in the show that called in from New Jersey. And now our first call of the day is from Bob in New York. Bob, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I've been listening. I'm calling from New York, and I'm a Knicks fan, and it's been a great series, like you say. I think Game 3 had like 24 million viewers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I got to tell you something. I'm pulling for my Knicks.
Sure.
And I know you're pulling for San Antonio, and I know you have all the Spurs listeners right now. But Victor Wembanyama has played dirty in this series.
Dirty, huh?
Dirty, and I don't say that lightly. Did you see in this? I think it was the second. I'd have to go back and rewind it on my VCR.
And your VCR, all right?
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
On my recording, I think it was the second quarter. He was flailing his body all over the place and flung himself toward Anunoby's knee at the top of the key. If he'd have taken him out, he would have been out not only for the rest of the series, but maybe out next year. And I don't have to tell you what he did to Brunson. We don't have to get into that. He's done that the whole series. I think he's played very cocky. He's only 22 or whatever he is.
22.
Okay, he's trash talks. Well, fine, you can trash talk. Jordan trash talk,
sure.
And he backed it up. Okay? Wembanyama is I don't, he was taunting Robinson. I'm in your head. I'm in your head.
Yeah.
Okay, who does that at 22 years old? He hasn't even experienced life yet.
It's interesting because there's a lot of cocky, confident players out there. And I know you clearly haven't watched Victor as much as the rest of us have because he is a very thoughtful, curious, interesting young man who's different than most 22-year-olds. Dude goes to bed at 9 o'clock on nights that he doesn't have a game. And
that's all fine and dandy, but I'm judging him by what he does on the court.
But look when you roll it
you're
back.
You're telling me that my eyes are lying.
Bob, when you roll it back on your VCR, watch the crap that guy is taking. And at some point,
What crap? Explain that. What crap is he taking?
Watch the physical play against him, the dirty play. Your guy Alvarado looked like a little chihuahua humping his leg at one point during the game. I'm sure you watched that. But you go back, watch what
Hart. That was retaliation retaliation.
It's Victor has finally figured out, Bob, that he's got to return the favors, if you will. He's got to protect himself out there, which is something that Mitch Johnson said when he had that elbow to Naz Reid in the Minnesota series. But you look at the physical nature, and again, Isaiah Hartenstein from Oklahoma City, go look at what he was doing. Victor is figuring out how to play in the NBA. And he is young, and I find it interesting, Bob, appreciate the phone call, that you would say that. I was on a show this morning on Sports Talk 790 in Houston, and they actually asked me about how likable a guy is Wemby. And Wemby might be the least liked player in this series. When you start looking around, on those Knicks, I mean, Jalen Brunson's a likable player. Cat's cat. I mean, in Victor, with some of his demeanor in this series and in this playoffs, which is different. We haven't seen this level from Victor Wembanyama since he's been in the NBA. But it all kind of started in that Minnesota series where he is responding a little bit more than what he has. But at 7'5", I don't know how other guys, how you defend him. But that physical play and the beating that Victor takes, the abuse, stuff that isn't called, he is finally pushing back. And you think about getting pushed around and bullied, and that is something, Bob, that we have talked about on this show since he came into the league. He's tall and he's skinny. Does he have the strength? And he gets pushed around, and at some point he's going to have to learn how to push back. And we saw that in Minnesota. We saw that against Oklahoma City, and we're seeing it in New York. But with all these eyes on the San Antonio Spurs, a lot of new eyes, guys that don't watch Spurs basketball a lot, casual basketball fans that are tuning into the finals, they're seeing a different Victor Wembanyama than we have seen for the first 3 years of his NBA career. Is he dirty? No. Is he pushing back? Is he showing some toughness? He didn't have that level of toughness 2 years ago, even last year. But he is figuring out how to play in the NBA. And he knows that if he gets a little bit physical back, then some of that's going to stop. I'm for it. And I know the New York media can label him dirty. There was some video that's been circulating around, and I don't know how true it is. Guys walking around the streets making a video talking about how Wemby got him thrown out of his penthouse at the hotel in New York because they're in the rich people section where there's only 2 on the floor, and they're wearing Knicks gears, and all they said was good luck, Victor, is what they say, and Victor had him thrown out. I don't know if that's true or not. And that certainly doesn't seem like the Victor that we know. And I don't know him personally, but he is a very nice, polite guy. But I'm guessing something was said, more so than what that guy is saying, if that is even true. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hey, Jeff, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, Jason, love the show. In regards to the last caller, you know what? This isn't your mama Spurs. These guys have some nasty. Yeah, we all remember Popovich talking about, I need to see some nasty. Give me some nasty. You have to tell these guys this because these guys have an edge to them. And I love it. It's a different Spur, team, and it's a different generation. So I love these guys. Their toughness, their grit. They're not going to get pushed around. And other teams, other squads have to realize that and just get used to it because they have a nastiness, an edge to them.
They do, Jeff. And again, I love it, to be honest. Within the rules. I mean, Vic's got to be careful because he's a flagrant foul away from getting suspended. Now, if they don't win tomorrow night, that doesn't matter. But if they are able to win tomorrow night and get a Game 6 and somehow get to a Game 7, then he does have to be careful with some of what he is doing. Is it dirty? I mean, and I've said this for years. And, Bob, appreciate you tuning in. When he's not on your team, you can call him dirty. And I'll use my Bruce Bowen as an example. Bruce Bowen, the league said dirty player. I said crafty. Isaiah Hartenstein, was he dirty against San Antonio? Spurs fans are going to say yes. Oklahoma City fans are going to say no. And the refs didn't call fouls. So Hartenstein was going to play as physical as he possibly could because the refs were allowing it. Dirty, crafty. There is a difference depending on which team you're rooting for. But Wemby is a dirty player, as an unlikable player. And again, I got that question this morning when I was on with the show in Houston. I kind of find it funny because, well, it's Vic. But at the same time, we have seen a different attitude from Vic since that elbow in the Minnesota series. And I use the bully on the playground example. You get pushed around, and when the kid hits back, all of a sudden there's a different level of respect for that guy. He's not bullied anymore. And I think Vic has decided he is not going to get bullied anymore. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. More of your phone calls. Game 5 tomorrow night. Will there be a Game 6? That is the poll question on our YouTube page today. Go vote there on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page.
I've got great news for you. DraftKings Sports is now live in all 50 states, and yes, that means us right here in Texas. The whole world is watching one tournament right now. It is group stage chaos, knockout drama, stoppage time heartbreak. All the excitement right in the palm of your hands because DraftKings Sports is now live in Texas. The biggest stage right in the palm of your hands. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 941SportsStar. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards. That's code 941SportsStar. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC-registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends June 28th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
You know, there's nothing I hate more than dishonest business practices. So I built the company GiveMeTheVin.com around this slogan. We do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it. At GiveMeTheVin.com, we show up at your house, check in hand, pay off your payoff. It's just that simple. GiveMeTheVin.com.
We're the only 5-star BBB rated card buyer out there.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has greenlighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at TaxPro USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-444-9112. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call TaxPro USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-444-9112. 800-444-9112. That's 800-444-9112.
Coaches, dads, moms, working parents. Ever try taking a work call while the kids are running wild through the house? There's finally a better way to work and parent. Introducing CoPlay Cove, San Antonio's first co-working plus childcare experience designed for modern families. Grab coffee, answer emails, take meetings, or just breathe for a minute while your child safely learns and plays nearby. Learn more now at CoPlay Cove and visit the events page today for upcoming Father's Day activities.
An accident or injury can derail your life in an instant, leaving you struggling to pay for medical bills and daily expenses. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe every Texan deserves justice, no matter their financial situation. That's why we offer our no-win, no-fee promise. You don't pay us unless we win your case. We know how difficult recovering from an accident can be. Let us handle your case while you focus on getting better. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Some people reach a line and stop. Some hit a wall and turn around. Then there are the ones who cross the line, climb the wall, face obstacles, and turn them to their advantage. That's where we come in. We're the next rodeo. We design bold marketing that drives real growth. A creative partner for businesses ready to push forward beyond what's expected. The Next Rodeo. Learn more at thenextrodeo.com.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA Finals
Are the Spurs still kicking, or are we talking their autopsy, Rob?
Oh, it's football season. OTAs matter now. Attendance is mandatory. We'll look at the camps. Who's there, who's not. Football season is almost or is here. We're starting to talk early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio and New York. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is where you come to talk NBA Finals, and hopefully deep in the next week as well. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagle on vacation. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on this Friday afternoon. You can get me on Twitter at Jason Minix. Comment on YouTube. Lots of comments there. Vote in our YouTube poll. Simple yes or no. Will there be a Game 6? Or dial us up. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You know, Bob called in from New York, and he's got a lot of people in the YouTube chat fired up. And look, I get it. And I welcome the calls from New York. We had a bunch of them yesterday. I welcome them today. It creates good debate. I got some compliments from New Yorkers yesterday that I was fair. Cool. I call it how I see it. Spurs fan, not always a Spurs homer. Don't mind ripping De'Aaron Fox or Mitch Johnson with some of the actions there. Wemby is not above criticism, and I do plenty of that too. Credit New York for what they've been able to do in this series. They have made the clutch shots, the big plays, and criticism comes with the territory. And Mitch Johnson said that today. I mean, they hear it.
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody else. I don't get into social media. I think I've probably been fired 212 times, and we traded Fox 72 times. And, unfortunately, we still got to show up and play tomorrow, and I got to coach. So the people that matter, we bond together. We stick together through the highs and lows. And, we were, I think, chosen to be in the play-in. And so there's a lot of things that happened. Fox and I were fortunate enough to experience All-Star Weekend together. We got a lot of positive after that. And we lost a tough game in the finals that we had a lot to do with in terms of we had control to walk that thing down. And that's what comes with the job. That's not more or less. And, people have their opinions, say what they say. I don't care. I care what the people that matter in our building and our organization in that locker room, that they know how I feel, and I hear them and how they feel. And De'Aaron Fox will have the basketball in his hands at the end of the game tomorrow, and I have nothing but the utmost confidence that he's going to deliver like he's done countless times for us.
That was Mitch Johnson earlier today. And you know what? He is right. He understands criticism, and it comes with the job. His bosses understand what he's doing. I'm sure, unlike all of us, you don't get graded and have millions of people watching you work and deciding whether or not you should be fired or not. De'Aaron Fox is the same way. And when they mess up, and you kind of heard Mitch say that, they had a lot to do with that. They don't want to lose. They don't want to make the mistakes. Just we all see it when it happens. But in that locker room, all of them have to have that togetherness. And it felt like today they all did. I don't know what they would have been like if they had to face the media yesterday, but once that plane landed and they did whatever it is they had to do, today they showed up and it looked like they were able to put that behind them. Mentally, I don't know how they did it. I remember all the stories about the 2013 finals. After that game, Pop took everybody out to dinner. Now, part of that is they had reservations because they had a place to go celebrate. Well, it wasn't a celebration, but it was a great dinner. I don't know what Mitch did with these guys after the game the other night, or what was said on the plane, or any of whatever, right? But today, the attitude seemed normal. You would have known if they were up 3-1 or a series was tied 2-2. They didn't act like a group that was devastated from blowing a 29-point lead, or all right, yeah, 3-1, we got to go play one more game and watch those dudes celebrate and then plan our beach trips. They didn't have that attitude. They didn't have that demeanor. Now, I didn't go to media day today because when it was going on and being in the studio and getting ready for the show. I can't be in two places at once. But all the videos that I saw, they all seemed, body language, words, everything seemed what you would hope for a team that plans on winning tomorrow night, not a team like Cleveland that basically quit, a team like Philly that basically quit. So from that standpoint, I feel better about the Spurs and their chances tomorrow night in a building that's going to be full of Knicks fans. According to a ticket website, Game Time, more than half of the Game 5 tickets have been purchased by fans in the New York, New Jersey area. They say 54% on the resale market. And I wish they would stop. And for two reasons. One, there's going to be a lot of orange and blue in the building. But I haven't bought my tickets yet. My daughter's flight is today, and we're going. But I'm going to wait till the last minute to buy tickets, hoping the market crashes a little bit. But so far, it's not doing that. So if you see me running DoorDash next week, understand why. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Pedro, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, I just want to make a comment about the game.
Yep.
I think the Spurs are going to play hard and they're going to win, but I think New York's going to try to get Wemby to get a flagrant foul so he could be suspended, because that would be his first flagrant foul. So he might just get suspended for Game 6.
It is something to watch for sure, Pedro, and I understand what you're saying, so I'm not saying this in a negative way. I mean, kind of like how we knew the officials the other night were going to call it tight early, and we thought it would be against San Antonio, but it was Karl Anthony Towns that picked up two quick fouls. But because of how things went in Game 3, you just kind of knew, and Mike Brown bitching about the officials, that would be there. And I would imagine it's going to be the same way, that, yeah, they're going to try to bait him, try to get him to do something stupid. But Victor does have a high basketball IQ. And unless he goes out and does something egregious, I don't know that they are going to quickly say that there is a flagrant foul on Vic, because they don't want to suspend Victor Wembanyama during a playoff game. This isn't like Draymond Green missing Game 5. That with those series we keep talking about, Cleveland coming back from down 3-1 to beat the Golden State Warriors. Now, for different reasons, but Draymond got suspended for Game 5. And the NBA, look at the ratings for this. There's two reasons there's huge ratings for this. You got New York, and you got Victor Wembanyama. I mean, last year, these ratings are double? What I read, double what we saw last year, Oklahoma City and Indiana? I mean, you've got a global star in Vic. Now, a lot of us here, we don't get that because we're in the United States. But when you think about what a global superstar Victor Wembanyama is, and then you add in the New York media market, the ratings are what they are. They don't want to suspend Vic. Now, he would have to do something really egregious. I kind of thought the one the other night, because it did feel so incidental. Unlike Naz Reid, where he lined it up and delivered it, I thought that had a chance of at some point getting rescinded. Like, did it really rise to the level of flagrant? But it was above the shoulders. But I wouldn't have been surprised if they did rescind it, because they don't want to suspend him. They don't want to have to suspend him. And I don't know that Vic would go and do anything that stupid. He understands what he's dealing with. I mean, here's a guy that has been in games when he could easily foul out and Mitch trusts him to stay in the game, and he stays in the game. So I'm not as worried about Vic retaliating in a way that would get him kicked out. Unless, I don't know, if it's the fourth quarter and the Spurs are down 14 and no chance of it didn't they come back from down 12 in Game 2 at home and damn near win that one? The way this series is, I don't know if there's a lead big enough to where you could say it's over. I think we've all made that mistake a couple of times, both sides. I think New York fans, even though they ended up winning Game 2, and Spurs fans the other day, I'm guilty of it. Halftime, all right, it's going to be 2-2. And I felt like it was going to be 2-2 until about 10 minutes after it wasn't, when I realized that did happen. That did happen. Now, it's not just San Antonio Spurs basketball, although that's kind of it. There's this soccer event that's happening. You might have heard about it. It's the World Cup. And I know a lot of you are like me. You don't watch soccer. A lot of you do, but I'm talking to those that don't. But the World Cup comes around, and when the Spurs season ends, we're all going to become World Cup guys because it's huge and it's a lot of fun. So Katie Goodman is our soccer expert. You've seen her do soccer broadcasts all over the place, San Antonio FC. She's been on this show and on this station many, many, many times. Katie, joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And Katie, Team USA, they open up tonight. What do we need to know about Team USA? And talk to us all like me. I don't know anybody on this team and who the key players are. What are we watching for as Team USA starts their World Cup run?
Well, this is going to be, thank you for having me, by the way, Jason. I'm happy to be back. But, you know, the first thing to know about this matchup is this is the biggest matchup for them, possibly for the entire tournament. And that's because this is the first time in a long time that the U.S. men's national team has a chance to finish number one in the group. If they can finish number one in the group, that means the next up, all they have is someone from the third tier of another group, right? Because it's a little different this season of U.S. soccer in that, you know, we went up to 48 teams, so that means 2 teams go through as well as the third team, depending on points. And so if U.S. soccer can get through that third-place team, their chance of getting to the semifinals is at an all-time high. So that's, I think, really the goal there for them. But when you look at this team as well, not only is the schedule kind of lining up in their favor for them, but also just the amount of firepower that the U.S. men's national team has nowadays. You've got 16 guys from European leagues on this team, and then 7 guys from Major League Soccer who are the best of the best in Major League Soccer. So that's something that U.S. men's national team has struggled with, is getting enough European influence. And even the guys on the bench are, you know, who haven't been starting regularly, who are coming off the bench, are playing in European leagues and getting some quality minutes. So that should tell you something about the talent. You know, when we talk about the guys to watch out for, I think Christian Pulisic is a name that, you know, most people should be familiar with. He's been around for the past couple World Cups. Plays at Inter Milan. He's really the face of U.S. soccer. But since then, we've added some really key players in the mix. Folarin Balogun plays for AS Monaco in France, and he is just an outstanding striker. He's going to be one of those people who, you know, they're going to pop off the page to you. You're going to want to learn all about him, and he's just really interesting. We've also got Chris Richard. He's defender, but he is out right now, or at least last I had checked, out on injury. Had hurt his ankle one of the earlier matchups, but played at Crystal Palace. And, you know, so there's so many to name for me as someone who's in the weeds with this, Jason. But one that also I think is interesting to all of you listening is Ricardo Pepi. He's from El Paso, and then he went up through the ranks of FC Dallas, eventually got into the U.S. men's national team ranks, actually scored on his debut a couple years ago, and now he plays at PSV Eindhoven, which is a Dutch league. And if we know anything about the Netherlands, we know they're really good. So, again, that's just a really good league to come from and to give back to the U.S. Mint. And he's one of those who's been coming off the bench and has been super productive. So, you know, those are really my key players to watch.
Katie Goodman joining us here, a little World Cup insight. She's a professional and collegiate soccer analyst. You see her a lot with San Antonio FC. Real quick, because – you know, I'm doing my homework, and I know they've got Paraguay tonight. Now, ESPN.com, you go to the World Cup page, and it says, meet the U.S. men's national team, the 26 players striving to win a World Cup on home soil. Then the next article, the U.S. is going to win the World Cup. Here are 13 stats that prove it. And I'm like, dude, U.S. in soccer, I hope they win a game. Can they score a goal? What kind of propaganda crap is this from ESPN? Or has the World Cup team actually gotten good and nobody's noticed?
I was going to say they may have gotten the men's and women's team mixed up here because, don't get me wrong, I love the U.S. men's national team. I think they've come a long way. They've really grown. This is one of the strongest, you know, 11 to 15 guys that we've had in that starting lineup there.
So realistically,
but when it comes to winning the whole thing, not a chance. No, there's no way they're getting through Spain and France. Come on, not a chance.
Fair enough. I mean, now that said, while winning it is obviously the goal, what would be considered a successful World Cup run for the men's national team?
I think semifinals would be really good for them. It's been a while since they've made it to the semifinals. I believe it was in that 94 tournament was the last time they made it that far. And again, this is one of the best that we've had so far for the U.S. men's national team. Actually, I take that back. In 2002, they made it to the quarterfinals. There's a chance. Just so much of it will depend on how the chips fall once they make it out of group stage. If they can get a third-place team in the next round, they're already set up for success. And if they can get out of round of 16, I think that will be an absolute breakout year for the U.S. men's national team. I think it's something to grow on. When you look at the U.S. men's national team in the past, they just dropped off completely after 2002. I think there was a lot of hustle and bustle about the World Cup being there, and I think there was a lot of energy and investment put into the team at that time. And what my hopes are is that these guys can prove some people wrong, they can get farther than we think, and they can earn that investment from the people of the United States. I mean, obviously, U.S. women's soccer, they're the standard, right, of world soccer because they've won the World Cup over and over. But the U.S. men's national team, they're still working to get that street cred. And I think if they can do that, it's just, you're going to see it fall into other leagues like Major League Soccer, the USL Championship. People are just going to buy into the sport a little more, and all of that matters because that's money, and the more money you got, the better the players you have.
Our soccer expert, Katie Goodman, here on the Blitz. I know you're doing a series on your Instagram. Tell us about that and where people can go watch you.
Yeah, so my Instagram is I'm Katie Goodman. I am Katie Goodman, and I'm doing a series called Soccer Politics. And essentially, I'm going to break down each matchup and the history and economics that goes into that matchup, because there are things, that like certain teams, when you have U.S. and Mexico, this is such an obvious one, the chip on the shoulder there. And then, there is a small chance that the U.S. could play Iran. And then that's a whole nother, as we all know what's going on there in politics, that could be a crazy thing. If they finish second in this group, they could play Belgium or Iran. And so that, there's so much that comes into play with world politics and economics and all of these matchups. And so I just figured, hey, that's just one little area where people aren't really harping on at the moment. I think you're going to get analysis out the ears from people like me all over the place. And so I just figured I'd try something a little different. So if that's something you're into, that's where you can find it.
On my Instagram, I am Katie Goodman is our Instagram page. Fred Villarreal on our YouTube page says Katie Goodman should be a Friday regular during the World Cup. I don't know. We might have to negotiate some things. Or it might just be while the USA is playing. Katie, appreciate you jumping on today.
Right. Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate it.
We'll make it happen. You'll hear Katie a lot more throughout the World Cup. I can promise you that, because she's the only one I know that I would say, you're a soccer expert, come on the show. She's the best. Love her. Katie Goodman on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. PJ Carlesimo will join us coming up in about 35 minutes or so to talk about the game coming up tomorrow night. How do the Spurs forget about what happened in Game 4 and look ahead to Game 5? We'll talk about that with PJ Carlesimo coming up at 3:35 here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Let me tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Great family, locally owned company. A company that's been in business here in San Antonio and South Texas since 1983. That should really tell you everything you need to know about Stevens Roofing and Solar. And I tell you what, with all the recent rains that we've had, you might want them to check your roof to make sure that everything is okay, because I'm not sure these storms are over. Either way, you need to get it checked out before small problems turn into big problems. Here's what you do. You call Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. They're going to send an experienced team out to your house. They'll inspect your roof. They'll do it for free, and they'll let you know if everything is okay or if there are some things that need to be taken care of. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the absolute best in the business, 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
Hey guys, it's AJ, and between us, when you hit a certain age, things start to feel a little bit off. You're tired all the time, your energy's low, and maybe your drive isn't what it used to be. A lot of that can come down to low testosterone. That's why I want you to give a call to Game Day Men's Health, Alamo Ranch on Wiseman Boulevard. They understand what guys are dealing with, and they make the process so easy. The office has a relaxed man cave vibe. Everything starts with a free testosterone test done right there in their in-house lab. After that, you'll meet with a licensed provider to create a custom treatment plan designed for you. And here's the best part, you can start treatment the same day. After a month, you'll be noticing more energy, a better mood, and a boost in your libido. Don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. After a month, you can notice more energy, a better mood, and a boost in your libido. Give them a call, 830-376-9100. 830-376-9100. 830-376-9100 for Game Day Men's Health, Alamo Ranch.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 9 plant protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 mushroom coffee sticks. And now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's RADIO to 64,000.
Hi, I am Officer Sarai Walton with the San Antonio Police Department. SAPD is always hiring, and you can apply online if you think you have what it takes to become part of the SAPD family. Submit your application at sapdcareers.com. Once you submit your application, you will be contacted to begin the process. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring. Start your journey to a rewarding career by applying online at sapdcareers.com. That is sapdcareers.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
'Twas the night before Father's Day, and all through the house, Dad slept in his recliner, completely passed out. Magellan Outdoors and Titleist win the night as Dad dreams of gifts from Academy, the kind he'd like. Because tomorrow's not just Father's Day, you see. It's Dad Christmas at Academy. Line up before the doors open on Saturday, June 13th to score a promo card worth up to $500. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Fun can't lose. Select Austin and San Antonio Academy stores. No purchase necessary. Open to Texas residents 18 or older. Visit academy.com/official rules.
Hey, Jen, you ready for a girls' night in?
Absolutely. What's on the agenda?
Oh, a little wine, a little JTV.
Jewelry television? I've never shopped on TV.
Are you kidding? You're missing out on amazing jewelry. Gold, pearls, lab-grown diamonds, and totally affordable. And right now, new customers get $25 off their first purchase of $50 or more when you shop on TV or at jtv.com.
25 off? Why are we standing here?
You turn on the TV. I'll grab my tablet.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs are facing a 3-1 deficit as they head back to the Forst Bank Center tomorrow night for Game 5. It is a must-win situation against the New York Knicks. Luckily, it's back here at the Forst Bank Center. Tip-off set for 7:30 tomorrow, and that game will be televised on ABC. Well, in World Cup action tonight, USA opens up Group D play as they take on Paraguay at 8.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. It's a Friday. Ready for a weekend. Ready for a Game 5 tomorrow night. NBA Finals. A lot of New Yorkers back in San Antonio. Welcome into our great city. Enjoy. Hopefully it's very peaceful for you and you go home disappointed. But you won't be heckled to get your ass kicked for wearing Knicks gear. We don't do that here. Ryan Eagle's still on vacation. He'll be back on Monday. I'm Jason Minix. Our YouTube poll question today is simple. Will there be a Game 6? Right now, it's 75-25 yes to no. I think that's probably about right. Spurs fans confident, especially after hearing the guys talking today. And again, the must-win, one game at a mind mentality is exactly what you're looking at and exactly what it has to be. We'll get into a lot of that coming up. Plus, PJ Carlesimo will join us in about 30 minutes from right now. But right now, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novu Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
The Texas Tech Red Raiders. I don't know if they have a program in crisis PR management. And if they do, this is an example of what not to do. They keep doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. And it's bizarre. It is so bizarre. The university president sent a long-ass letter to the student body talking about why they're supporting Brendan Sorsby. I don't know about you, but I don't know if any of them are going to read all that. There's a lot there. Then they put out a 22-minute video with the Texas Tech leadership. And TCU football responded. I ain't watching all that. I'm happy for you, though, or sorry that it happened. And I think that's a big part of the way a lot of us feel. Who's watching all that? I mean, you had your leadership. Well, Pledge did because he has to. I mean, that's part of his job. But for the most part, you're not watching all that. It is ridiculous, and it does kind of feel like, all right, if you're putting out a 22-minute video, how much in the wrong do you know that you are that you feel like you have to defend it to this level, right? It's wrong. I get you're standing by your guy. You want Brendan Sorsby as a student, you want to wrap it. All right, cool, dude. You are welcome to come to the Texas Tech University. We've got all this support for you here and enjoy. Here's where the library actually is. But you're not playing football for us. You can still embrace the student part of Brendan Sorsby while saying, but from the athlete side, you can't do this. I mean, even in one of the lines of this long-ass letter from the Texas Tech president, where it kind of talks about the plan that they have and whatnot, he does say, and I'm paraphrasing, but for the most part, none of this activity happened while he was with Texas Tech. And when the issue came to light, we acted quickly to help Brendan seek treatment and worked with the NCAA and the Big 12. There is no allegation, none, that he ever tried to manipulate the outcome of a game. The vast majority of Brendan's betting occurred prior to his enrollment at Texas Tech. The vast majority. So is that saying, he was doing that here too? I mean, and look, if he's got a serious addiction problem, which I totally get, he needs to get help. That doesn't mean he gets to continue playing college football. It's already cost him a lot of money. I mean, according to Texas Tech, they're not paying for his lawyers. I don't know if I believe that. It is costing him some endorsement money, and this will follow him for the rest of his career. I mean, when he gets to the NFL, this is still going to be a story. But I just all of that, a 22-minute video. And then at the Houston Touchdown Club, Joey Maguire, and I like Joey, but dude, come on.
Brendan Sorsby is recovering from an addiction. He's recovering. Like, I've sat down with this young man multiple times, and the things that he is going through and what he's been through is serious. As a society, we've been okay with other things that happens and allowing players to play, and this has been the one thing that has united people that we're against, you know. And it's crazy because it's not murder.
What?
It's not beating somebody, or so there's a lot of things that we're working through.
Yeah, he didn't kill anybody. He didn't beat anybody. He bet on some games, which is the one thing you know you can't do. It's bizarre. And all the different lawsuits, all of this. But 22-minute video trying to explain things.
Tech's going full Pete Rose on this.
Dude, what would Texas Tech be saying if it was the quarterback at Texas, TCU, anywhere else? I mean, Joey Maguire, who has been on this show many times, talking about the need for rules in the NCAA, in the guardrails. But he's got a Cody Campbell billionaire behind him. Joey Maguire is the one on this show that said that landman money is real, and they're going to take advantage of it. I know you want to win a championship, but at what level? And granted, buyer's remorse a little bit? Sure. You didn't know about this till he got on campus. I get that. You want to embrace him and stand by your guy. I get that. But everybody seems to know it's wrong except for the guys in Lubbock. And the more they put out like that, the more you realize they know it's wrong, but they want to win. I don't know. Does Elon Musk have an affiliation with the school? Because that's who you really need to fight. Like Jeff Traylor needs to buddy up with Elon Musk, because that would be all the money in the world. Elon today became the world's first trillionaire after the SpaceX's IPO. So congratulations to Elon.
Yeah, he's got a couple schools.
Does he?
Yep. He's got degrees from Penn, of course.
All right.
And his BS is from Wharton.
All right. Does he have a major football program that he supports?
Briefly enrolled for a PhD at Stanford.
All right. Well, I mean, isn't Andrew Luck the GM up there? Well, they could get good again in a hurry. Just like Indiana got a Mark Cuban. Jeff Traylor. Become buddy with Elon. He's a trillionaire. The world's first.
So much money. Like, I can't even fathom it.
No. You got to write trillion. I wouldn't know how many zeros actually go in that. I don't know. You open up your bank account. Yeah. Good to be Elon, I suppose. Let's talk some Spurs and Knicks. Will there be a Game 6? That's the poll question on YouTube today. You can go to our YouTube page through sasportstar.com, or if you're on YouTube, you can vote there. Easy to do. Will there be a Game 6? Simple yes or no question. Let's give some tickets away. What do we have? Top of the list pledge, you got the River Monsters playing. You got a 4-pack of tickets to go see the San Antonio River Monsters, which they're a new team in San Antonio. They're in that TCIL, which is that collegiate league. It's a wood bat league. Top college players play their home games over at UIW. RiverMonstersBaseball.com. They have a really cool logo. We got a 4-pack of tickets that you can win right now. Caller number 9, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
The Morning Huddle.
I think you guys might be more adventurous to me. Because I don't think I have a thing that I'd be like embarrassed to talk about.
You got a thing.
I don't think so.
You don't,
I'm not.
Just because
I'm
you
not
don't
talking
think you
about
got
my
a thing doesn't mean you don't got a thing. But you got a thing. And your significant other knows that thing.
Vic likes to eat salsa out of his girl's belly button.
Whatever it is.
Vic's got weird things.
When your significant other finds out what your thing is, they know how to end the whole process right then.
Yeah. All right.
It's over.
Let's.
You got 5 seconds. You ready? 5, 4, 3, done. Like when you get in the gas, count backwards from 100.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brewery, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 80 feet of video walls, 60 craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. A full bar and delicious menu. Novo Brewery is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours. San Antonio's playoff headquarters has arrived. Novo Brewery features 80 feet of video walls, craft beers, hard kombucha on tap, and the food menu that means business. Thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, carne asada fries, and more. And with its own private entrance separate from North Star Mall, no hassle, just you, your crew, and the biggest screens in the city at Novo Brewery. Open late. Visit novobrew.com. Novo Brewery. Come hungry. Stay for the game.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
Hello, Connecticut. May I help you?
This is Bill Tyson. Is this my Connecticut Pro?
Yes, Mr. Tyson. What can I do for you?
Calling from Yellowstone National Park. Old Faithful just erupted and reminded me I didn't set the vacation bypass in my Connecticut water conditioner. Would you run over to my house and set it? I've hidden the key under my doormat.
Well,
I forgot to set the bypass last year. I had that other brand, and the software used up 4,000 pounds of salt in a week.
Mr. Tyson, relax. With your new Connecticut, there is no vacation cycle or any worries about salt. If you don't use any water, your Connecticut won't either. We not only believe in saving salt, but also in saving water.
Would you go over and unplug it then? I'm trying to conserve electricity.
You forget that your Connecticut doesn't use electricity either. There's nothing to plug in. And don't forget that your Connecticut is also completely automatic.
You mean I can relax and enjoy my whole vacation?
That's right.
This is great. I've got Old Faithful here at Yellowstone and an Old Faithful in my Connecticut water conditioner at home.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
License number 38961.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has greenlighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Pro USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-444-9112. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Pro USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-444-9112. 800-444-9112. That's 800-444-9112.
San Antonio, the Toros are back. 2-0 on the season. 2 wins, 2 shutouts. Defensive coordinator Jerry Glanville, yes, that Jerry Glanville, has the defense playing great and overshadowing the high-scoring offense. The Toros are back in action this Sunday against the Tall City Black Gold. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. at the Wheatley Heights Sports Complex. Family-friendly with the Kids Zone. Tailgating starts at 3. Get your tickets now for this Sunday's game at COFLToros.com. Join the Stampede. Vamos, Toros!
This World Cup update on San Antonio Sports Star is brought to you by Twin Peaks.
You could win unmatched views of the match during the Twin Peaks Go for the Gold giveaway presented by Michelob Ultra and Casamigos. Visit TwinPeaksSoccer.com to enter for your chance to win by June 14th. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Western One Sports presents this World Soccer Update. Day 2 of the World Cup, and 24 hours after Mexico won in Mexico, Canada's trying to win in Canada, but in the 21st minute in Toronto, a goal for Bosnia-Herzegovina, a header by Jovo Lukic off a corner kick, 1-0 Bosnia. At halftime, Canada's trying to win a World Cup game for the first time ever. Tonight in Los Angeles, it's the U.S. and Paraguay. U.S. said to be a slight favorite. Paraguay has been tough to score on, only allowed 10 goals in its last 16 matches coming in, and the U.S. comes in having lost its last 2 friendlies by a combined 7-2. Half the U.S. roster back from the 2022 team. There's 4 more games tomorrow. They'll be played in Santa Clara, New Jersey, Foxborough, and Vancouver, and after which all the teams in groups A, B, C, and D will have played once. John Stash, Westwood One Sports.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
New York. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
San Antonio Spurs in a must-win situation, down 3-1 in this series. But can this team do what nobody has ever been able to do except one other team? And that's come down from 3-1 and win a series. Now, it's happened 3 times in history where teams have forced a Game 7, but only one of those teams was actually able to win the trophy. Can the Spurs do it? How did the Spurs mentally get over what happened in Game 4 when they blew a 29-point lead? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to talk about it. PJ Carlesimo, in about 15 minutes from right now, will join us to give us that coaching perspective on it. You can vote in our YouTube poll, comment on YouTube. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Ryan Eagle's on vacation. I'm Jason Minix. You can get me on Twitter at Jason Minix. But you look at, I think the hardest part is the mental part. And when I think about what we've seen from the Spurs today, I liked the attitude. Now, I wasn't at the media sessions because they start in around noon, and I've got to be here at the studio. So I wasn't there. But with everything that I saw on video today, I liked the body language and what the Spurs were saying. And when I say that, it's one thing to say all the right things. But how you're acting, are you moping around? Are you all right, it's 3-1. Let's get this over with. I'm ready to plan vacation. Because I know a lot of fans yesterday felt like the series was lost in Game 4 with that collapse. But I didn't see that from this young Spurs team. Devin Vassell was asked today, how quickly can you flush a game like that?
Yeah, transparency. Yesterday was probably the most I thought about it. Obviously, with the game being that night, I thought about that night, thought about it yesterday, woke up this morning ready to go, ready to execute the game plan for the next day. And I think that's everybody's mindset is, cool. We're not going to sit here and keep thinking about what we could have done, what should have happened with this or that. That's not changing the result of anything. And so at the end of the day, we just got to be ready to execute the game plan, trust what the coaches got for us, and be ready to go.
And you hear that and you go, all right. You get a chance to go make history. How much are you thinking about that, Devin?
I think, of course, but you can't think about that honestly at all because you got to start off going 1-0. You can't look too far in the future because I said literally there's nothing promised for us right now. We got our back against the wall. So let's just focus on trying to go 1-0, which starts tomorrow. And then from there, we just try to walk it down.
And all right, good cliche answer. We're not worried about that. Mitch Johnson was asked, do you focus on how the lead was built or how you blew it?
It's a good question. I think every game takes on a different personality, and a lot of times when you watch the games back with the level of detail that I would guess all staffs do, but I can speak for our staff, there's so much that starts to happen before, whether on a certain play before you make the shot or before the runs happen. And I think that's what gives someone a lot of clarity on what went well and what didn't and what led to it. Because a lot of times, again, these things aren't in a vacuum or are not, isolated types of things. And so as you see that, there's a lot of times of themes of the game that may not even necessarily show themselves in a box score on the surface level, that when you start peeling back the layers, you start to understand the ripple effect, good and bad, of what you do or what you did.
So you hear that, you hear Devin. You get a little of both because you did a lot of really good things to build that lead and a lot of bad things to lose that lead. And the Knicks did a lot of great things to erase that lead. Both things have to happen. When you have a great comeback, you have to have a great collapse. You don't come back and the other team continues to play great. So where do you focus? And then the mindset. Can you flush that game? Can you make sure that one loss doesn't turn into two losses? Now, I know that Tim Duncan team in 2013, that loss in Game 6 led to the loss in Game 7. I don't know how you flush it. And yesterday we spent 4 hours here on the Blitz doing a therapy session. But like I said, it felt like this young Spurs team today, everything felt right. Now, Wemby, his confidence level, he thinks this team is still going to win a championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody knows we're going to do it.
What?
But I don't know if I agree with you. I feel like we need to isolate that one game and take it one game at a time. I think it'd be a mistake to waste our energy on different, on multiple games. It's one game at a time.
All right, one game at a time. But did he also call a shot by saying, yeah, everybody knows we're going to do it? I mean, there's some confidence, some cockiness, whatever you want to say that goes along with that. But like I said, they're not acting as if that one game is losing the series. So when you look at it and you sit there and you go, all right, but one game at a time. If you get Game 5, then you've got to go get Game 6. You have proven that you can win at Madison Square Garden. You could have had 2 at Madison Square Garden, but you blew one. So there would be a confidence level there. And then you think about going back up there. Tweet that I got from Brawley says, if there is a Game 6, I need Wemby to embrace the MSG villain role. Reggie Miller took it all in and threw it back at them. Do something like that. Wemby has to do something like that. And to a degree, I think Wemby is embracing that villain role. There are people that are thinking he's a dirty player. I was on a show this morning in Houston on 790 in Houston this morning, and they asked me about Wemby because he's the most unlikable player in this series. I'm like, really, Vic? But I could see it because he's had a little bit different of an attitude since he threw that elbow in the Minnesota series. But I like it. And, maybe that attitude changed when his head dribbled off the basketball court against Portland, and he had to miss that game for a concussion. But to a degree, when you hear Wemby, everybody knows we're going to do it. Now, to a degree, nobody was mopey today, which I appreciated. I wanted to see what the body language was. How dejected were they? Because I know yesterday, everybody that I encountered throughout the day, whether it was at the taco shop or at the car dealership because I took my car in for service, everybody was talking about it. Everybody was pissed off. I woke up pissed off yesterday, more angry when I woke up than I went to bed the night before. And I think because when I went to bed the night before, I was still in shock. And woke up the next day and yesterday and watching Get Up and all those damn Knicks fans on ESPN. Granted, it's their team. I get it. But I was more angry yesterday. Today, can this team get things turned around? Force a game 6. You know, the whole one game at a time, as cliche as it sounds, that's what it is. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hey, Joe, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, Jason. Love your show. You do a great job every day. Thank you so much for what you do.
Appreciate you.
A couple of things. I coach young men in basketball, and we won a lot of games, but people don't remember all that. They remember what you did today, right? So Mitch has done a great job to get them to this point, but he's still going to get criticized if you lose, an NBA's final game, or if you don't do something that you should have done maybe. Mike Brown is a genius. He knows he was under Pop for a long time. He knows the X's and O's. He's doing a lot of things to get Wemby out of the paint. I mean, honestly, screen and rolls, get Wemby away from the basket so the other guys can attack. And it's a chess match. Those are the things that the coaches get paid a lot of money to figure out. But I would like to see more Carter Bryant in there. He brings a lot of energy. I know he makes some rookie mistakes out there, but let him play. Let the kid play. I think he'll bring a lot more to us than if you just give him a few more minutes. Yep. Along with possibly Harrison Barnes for a little bit, to provide some stability as well.
I hear what you're saying, Joe, and you said yourself he's a coach, or you're a coach. Mitch Johnson has done a great job. He's in the NBA Finals. I know a lot of people want him fired today, or at least they did yesterday after what happened at the end of Game 4. But, as a coach, there's a trust factor, and who you trust to put in the game. And for whatever reason right now, there seems to be a lack of some of that trust. I do think, though, some of those guys are going to have to give you some quality minutes so you can get some rest for Victor so he's not out of gas at the end of the fourth quarter, because Vic's playing a ton of minutes, and you could tell from the start of the game to the end of the game, the energy level has just been different. Mitch has to manage Wemby's minutes better than he has in this series so that he's got a full tank of gas at the end of the fourth quarter. We'll ask a former coach and current ESPN broadcaster, PJ Carlesimo, that very question. PJ joins us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The game tomorrow night starts around 7:30, just after 7:30. 4 o'clock in the afternoon over at Freeman Coliseum. You can go watch the San Antonio Gunslingers. They've got a home game tomorrow as they play New Mexico, the Chupacabras. Indoor football. It's always a lot of fun. I think rain's in the forecast. Doesn't matter. It's indoors. AC. It works. And indoor football is a ton of fun. The athleticism, the game day atmosphere, the big hits, the incredible plays. It's just great family fun entertainment. Get your tickets now, sagunslingers.com. Again, they do so many fun things down there at a Gunslingers game. Cool stuff, too. If the football goes into the stands, and it does a lot, you got to keep the football. Sometimes the players will end up in the stands. You got to give those guys back. But it's just a lot of entertaining, and they play good football. The game day atmosphere is a lot of fun. So if you're trying to figure out something to do with the family tomorrow, go watch the Gunslingers take on the New Mexico Chupacabras. Get your tickets now, sagunslingers.com, sagunslingers.com, or at the Freeman Coliseum box office, or just be caller number 7 right now. We've got a 4-pack of tickets to give away. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 7, you win some tickets to go see the Gunslingers. If you don't win them, buy them. sagunslingers.com.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits 1, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits 2. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
We have meaningful basketball being played in San Antonio for the first time in years, and you know the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to go watch the games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11, great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roof Hub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of feller who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero.
The final is here and both teams are set, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. Last week, New York was trading at 54% to beat San Antonio, meaning a $100 trade could pay out over $186 if they take the title. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market, and as the odds move, you can buy in or out anytime. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code UPDATE to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk. It may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
The Spurs and the Knicks. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
How do the Spurs put the Game 4 collapse behind them, get ready for Game 5, and force a Game 6? It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagle is on vacation. I'm Jason Minix. Simple question, but what are the answers? Well, let's talk to an expert, our good friend P.J. Carlesimo, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Of course, he'll have the call on ESPN Radio with Mark Kestisher. And, Coach, I know nobody's been in a situation in a finals, but how do you take a loss like what the Spurs had to deal with in Game 4 and then get ready for Game 5 and not let one loss turn into two?
Well, it's a heck of a challenge, Jason, no question about that. But again, this team has shown that resiliency before. I mean, it's, when we left San Antonio last after the 1-point loss that everybody described at that point as a gut-wrenching, unbelievably bad, disappointing loss, and that was in, Forst Bank Center. How are they going to bounce back from that? And they did. They played arguably 3 of their best halves of the entire year consecutively in Madison Square Garden. So this team has shown the ability to put things like that behind them. Is this going to be maybe the biggest challenge any of them have ever faced? Without question. But I think this team is up to that. I think they're that special. And I think these two teams, the Knicks and the Spurs, are so evenly matched that it's not going to surprise me. I'm in my mind, I'm still hoping to be coming back here for a Game 7 in a few days. So I've got a lot of confidence in the Spurs, but challenge, enormous challenge, without question.
PJ, when you look at this series, and, I said it before it started, I wasn't sure how good the Knicks were because they barely had to break a sweat against Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals, and you swept Philly in the second round in the battles that the Spurs went through. Yet you could look at each one of these games and go, man, San Antonio had their chances here, 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 and here, in all of them. They could be up 3-1, but they're not.
They could have won it by now. The Knicks could have won it by now. It's been that competitive.
And it's about making clutch plays down the stretch. In Game 1, Jalen Brunson made them, and Wemby did not. And Game 2, the mistakes that were made by San Antonio. So as a coach, how do you talk to the team? How does Mitch Johnson and that staff talk to their players about playing a full 48 minutes? Because honestly, I think through 45 minutes, you might say the Spurs have been the better team. But for 48, the Knicks are up 3-1.
Well, I think two things. I think, first of all, it doesn't come back. It doesn't come down to the last play. As much as people want to talk about Victor's last shot not going in, I've lost track of days, to be honest with you, Jason. I think that was Game 2 or OG's tip at the end of Game 4. It's not one play. It really isn't. It's not De'Aaron Fox, getting the layup blocked. It's not all that. It's the sum of all the game. It's the sum of all the plays in the game. It truly is, and that's why you don't put yourself in a situation where it comes down to one play. They haven't lost the game because of the last play of the game. They've lost the game because of the sum of the 48 minutes. As simple as that. And the Knicks have had more guys play well, more guys step up than the Spurs have had. It's close, but it's that close. I think what the total spread for the whole series is like 8 points, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, the Spurs have had double-digit leads in every game. But, the Knicks are playing this Knicks team, and I agree with you. I think you started the question by saying we weren't sure how good the Knicks were. I'll be the first to admit that. This Knicks team, since Game 3 in Atlanta, is a totally different team than the team that played most of the regular season. Just as the Spurs have improved an awful lot, just as this Spurs team is a much better team than they were, even though they win 62 games in the regular season. This team now, having gotten through the Western Conference playoffs, having gotten to a fifth game in the NBA Finals, is a better team than they were 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, whatever it was when the playoffs started. I don't think Brian Wright could have done a better job putting a team together. I don't think Mitch could do a better job coaching than he has. They literally are that close, but it hasn't happened yet. And they've got to find a way. Everybody says closing the games. Yeah, okay, fine. They got to do a better way of closing the games, but they just need to play more good minutes over the course of the 48 minutes, and they're capable of doing that. So as tough as this is, and the one thing they have, usually when a team is down 3-1, they're facing 2 road games. The Spurs are not facing 2 road games. Spurs right now, the only thing they're concerned with is what happens Saturday night. If they find a way to win on Saturday night, that completely changes the whole tenor of this series. And they absolutely know what they're capable of doing in Madison Square Garden. So they got to find a way to play a better 48 minutes than the Knicks play, and then they got to find a way to get back to Madison Square Garden, and then hopefully you and I will be doing an interview the day before Game 7.
Absolutely. PJ Carlesimo, we'll just go ahead and book that now. Joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You've spent many, many years on the bench, either as a head coach or an assistant coach. When you are with a big lead, and I know Greg Popovich used to say he hated big leads early because you know the other team is going to make a run. But as you were broadcasting the game the other night, in the second half, and New York started to chip away at that lead. And I know I'm watching the Spurs continue to shoot threes with more than 15 seconds on the shot clock, and why? Use as much of the clock, shorten the game as possible. Is that in the moment, or should somebody on the staff have, hey, Mitch, we got to stop taking all these threes? I mean, or do you just keep doing what you were doing and eventually thinking they're going to go in? I mean, take us through a coach's mentality in a situation like what we saw the other night.
Well, I mean, first of all, I mean, it's not an answer, but it does need to be pointed out. Jalen Brunson missed a shot. That shot goes out. They come up with a rebound, or OG Anunoby doesn't make a world-class play to knock it in. Might not have been pretty, but they had the win. They did enough to get the win. The biggest difference, Mitch talked about a lot of things they didn't do as well. They didn't touch the paint as well. There were clearly some shots that were taken too early in the shot clock, but it was because the type of shot that was taken. It was because they hadn't touched the paint, they hadn't moved the ball, they didn't get the quality. Truth be told, they made some shots in the first half that probably weren't good shots either, but they made them. In general, yes, they got to continue to do what they do. They push the ball you don't want to play against the Knicks set defense unless you have to. The first good three that opens up, they got to take it. There were some threes I didn't like. There were a couple threes after offensive rebounds. There was a step-back three. There were some that I'm sure Mitch would say, maybe we could have gotten a better shot had we moved the ball for another couple seconds. But people are forgetting all those ones that went in the first half. And you got to play the way you play, which is get the ball up the court as quickly as we can. If we have a good three, we take it. There were some that weren't good threes. Mitch and the players would be the first to say that. But I don't think it was as egregious as everybody this is ridiculous. You can't. The other thing was, what's the cliche everybody uses about football guys with the prevent defense, or all of a sudden start running the ball 3 plays and you got to punt. You take your foot off the gas and you get that's the worst thing that can happen also. So they needed to walk the line better than they did in the second half. The one thing that people are not talking about, a lot of the very same things they did in the second half, they did in the first half. Just that guys made shots, players make shots. Sometimes they're not good shots. They make them. Remember the three that Steph made? Was it Steph that made the three late in the game that was like a ridiculous shot? It was like the Jordan Clarkson one, the Jose Alvarado one. Sometimes guys just make plays and there's nothing you can do. I still think the sum total of the 48 minutes was not as bad as it seemed. The reason Pop said that was when you're playing another good team, they're going to make a run. All of a sudden, the Spurs shots that missed in the first half, that went in, and the Knicks shots that missed, it's going to come around. You're going to get some calls go against you. You're going to turn the ball over. They didn't turn the ball. Spurs had 2 turnovers at the half. That's not right. If we're running 5-on-0 offense at practice in the facility, you can't do that. You can't score 67 points or 77, whatever the hell they had, and not turn the ball over twice. So it's going to come around. And when the momentum starts to go the other way, and you're in the finals, and you're in Madison Square Garden, and you got OG Anunoby making every shot he takes, you got Jose Alvarado playing maybe the best game he's ever played, sometimes you just got to say, well, guess what? It was not our night. For sure, the Spurs have a lot of things they know they could do better. For sure, the Spurs could, and in their minds, should be up, should be 2-2 in this series, but it's not. We got to move forward, and that's the biggest challenge. These guys seem to have been able to do that, Jason. How they've done that, I don't know. But I still think back to what it was like after Game 5 in the last series. There weren't a lot of people that really thought that the Spurs were going to win Game 6 and Game 7. You know, they were saying, well, yeah, how many games can you win in OKC? You're not going to win 2 games in OKC. Right now, they're facing 3 games, which is really, really difficult against an excellent team. But the good news is 2 of those potential games are in their own building. So you got to focus on one game. You got to hope Steph doesn't get in foul trouble. You got to hope that a couple guys don't play out of their minds like they have been playing for the New York Knicks. And we got to, get back to New York and deal one more time with Madison Square Garden and New York and all the things that go into that Game 6. But I'll tell you who the pressure is going to be on. If we can force a Game 6, pressure is going to be on the Knicks.
Very true. I agree with that 100%. PJ Carlesimo here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. One challenge that I think Mitch Johnson is going to face tomorrow night, now granted 2 days off is certainly going to help, but managing Victor's minutes, because you can just tell, and you've watched him enough through the Western Conference Finals and the Finals, when he runs out of gas, he starts taking a lot of threes, and just the lift isn't there in the legs. And, he's admitted to a degree that the fatigue has been a factor. So how does Mitch manage minutes early to make sure Wemby's got enough gas left in the tank late in the fourth quarter?
We talked with Mitch about that today. I think, A, they've got 2 days off, which has been good, even with the travel. B, the game, I know you watched every minute of it also, Jason. There were an inordinate amount of reviews, not as much challenges, but there was all these reviews. Do we upgrade a play? What's going on? Does it rise to the level? I think we had a lot of things happen that enabled San Antonio to play Mitch, and not just Mitch, other guys, big minutes. You also have to look at the way the game is going, and you're saying, hey, we got a chance to even this series in New York and get the home court advantage back. You got to go for it when it's right there in front of you. I don't think Wemby will play 42 minutes or whatever. He played 44 minutes. I don't think he'll play that in Game 5. But the circumstances in the game, like, are there a lot of free throws? Are the whistles blowing? Or is there like nonstop up and back for 2-3 minutes at a time where guys are going to show fatigue? Are there going to be a lot of reviews? Are there going to be challenges? There's a myriad of details that will go into it. I do think Luke Cornett will get bigger minutes. I do hope that Wemby's going to be fresher at the end of the game. But when there's been games where Wemby has played really well and they've needed him down the stretch and they've stretched out his minutes, it's all forgotten. When it doesn't go, they look at it. Nobody's looking at that more than Mitch and their staff right now, saying, how are we going to manage the minutes? What are we going to do? Part of the thing, one of the keys all year, and correct me if I'm wrong, when Wemby's been out, Steph has been in, and Steph has sometimes been the guy, even though he's a second-year player, the guy to steady the ship. Foul trouble from Steph hurt the substitution patterns in Game 4 also. So there were a lot of things that went into it. I think it will be managed differently, but I think the circumstances of the game are still going to dictate, when we sub, how we sub, and it's so different in the playoffs than it is in the regular season, when you can kind of settle into a routine and just play through things and say, hey, this is the way we do it. If it doesn't work out tonight, it doesn't work out tonight. You can't do that in the playoffs. There's no tomorrow in the playoffs, so you make different decisions because you have to in the playoffs, much less in the finals.
PJ, you mentioned your chance to visit with Mitch Johnson today. I wasn't able to go down to the media availability because of when that was happening and having to be here at the studio. But all the videos that I saw, the body language looked good. And, of course, everybody said all the right things. following the Game 4 loss. What was your impression from the attitude of, were they able to put that loss behind them and not let it affect them for tomorrow night's game?
I thought it was very good. We also interviewed Steph Castle, who's always magnificent. I mean, forget how good a player he is. He handles all the nonsense of dealing with talking heads like you and I so well. It's incredible. I thought they were very good. They were also very candid about saying, had they had to play a game a half hour after that game ended in Madison Square Garden, no, their emotions were so raw. They were so distraught. It was so much. And what they basically said was, we left it there. That was Wednesday night, I think. I've lost track of days. Wednesday night, we didn't pretend. The emotions were there. We knew the good thing, in a weird way, there wasn't a player, I'll say maybe Devin Vassell, and I think Devin would correct me. Every player could say, just look in the mirror and say, man, if I had done this, if I had, taken 2 more dribbles, if I had boxed out one time, if I'd made a shot when the shot was there, if I'd gotten an offensive rebound, it was completely shared. And I think in a good way, that's something that all of that, like, it wasn't like, oh man, one guy let us down. There was none of that, because everybody participated in a good way and in a bad way. There were mistakes made that everybody could own the loss. And I think they really did a good job saying, that was New York, that was that night. Once we got on that plane yesterday and got back to San Antonio, that's behind us. All we care about now is what happens tomorrow night. And they looked like that attitude was real. It's going to be interesting. They've started every game out. It's absurd how well they've played in the first quarter of all the games. If I'm not mistaken, they've had a double-digit lead in the first quarter of all the games. If that doesn't happen again tomorrow, it's not the end of the world, but that might be a bigger challenge to handle all the way. They've been playing from ahead in the first quarter so much that I'm really anxious to watch tomorrow night. I know what the crowd's going to be like, but I think their attitude is very, very good. I honestly think a veteran team, I think a team with a lot of guys that have been through this before would be shaking their heads saying, oh, this ain't going to happen. I don't think this team thinks that way. And I think that's an enormous credit to Brian Wright and to Mitch and the staff and what this team that they've put together. It's an amazing group. And, everybody keeps using the word resilient. It's kind of a cliche, but it's very, very accurate. These guys are really good at focusing on right now. Like, what am I going to do right now to give us a chance to win tomorrow night?
PJ, and I know because of your relationships, I don't want you to share anything that you don't think that you should, but 2013 in Miami, Spurs lose that game, the Ray Allen shot. Pop took everybody to dinner. Now, granted, we all know that they had that place reserved for a celebration. It wasn't, but he went to dinner and they all talked and there was all that kind of stuff. With travel, I don't know if it was possible, but did Mitch do anything like that with this group following a devastating loss?
I truly don't know. I know he talked to them right after the game. I didn't ask him that today. I'm not avoiding the question at all. I don't know. I really think that they consciously said, look, we can't pretend this didn't happen. We can't knock that out of our minds and let them dwell on that, let them agonize, if you will. And we get up the next morning, we get on the bus, we head to Newark Airport. Now it's over. Forget about it, guys. There's nothing we can do. Just the way they did after Game 2. There weren't a lot of people that were Spurs believers after Game 2, Jason. After that, at that time, they thought it was the most gut-wrenching 1-point loss you could ever have. Well, they just had another one. And that last one didn't affect them when they got to New York. And in my opinion, this one they just went through in New York is not going to affect them tomorrow night. Can I guarantee a win? Of course not. The Knicks and the Spurs are going to decide that on the court. But I'm not going to be in the least bit surprised if this group finds a way to make this 3-2 and heads back to New York.
PJ Carlesimo here on the Blitz. Enjoy a great dinner tonight here in San Antonio, Coach, and we'll talk to you next week before Game 7.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. PJ Carlesimo on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. You heard from PJ Carlesimo. Let's hear from you. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there. You can also vote in our poll. It's a simple question. Will there be a Game 6? Go vote in the poll. Get to the YouTube page through sasportstar.com. Or if you're on YouTube, just search out San Antonio Sports Star. You know, injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Juicy, thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, and more. This is bring your appetite food. Novo is attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit novobrew.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Need a reason to call Thomas J. Henry Law after a car accident? How about $1 billion? Because Thomas J. Henry Law fights even when the insurance company says your claim is worth nothing. Thomas J. Henry doesn't back down. That's how we put over $1 billion in our clients' pockets in just the last 4 years. And why we're one of the largest personal injury law firms in Texas. Car accident? Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for Window Nation. You know, it is June. Summer is here along with those hot summer days, and that means constant AC use and high energy bills. It is time to upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy-efficient ones and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com to book that consultation.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code TRACK, to borrow up to $10,000. Use code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000.
The rest of the world, they call it football. This is America, though. The World Cup is soccer. And Underdog, that's your spot to be all in on every match. 48 teams, 104 games, 39 days, one nation, Underdog. Guys, you make higher or lower picks on goals, assists, shots on target, and you could win big money. Anyone who plays is automatically entered for a shot at $25 million. 25 people are going to walk away with $1 million each if the USA wins it all. And nothing will get you into a game like having some action on Underdog. I watch games all the time. I don't think I know anything about it. I get some Underdog action down, and I am suddenly glued to the television. Download the app today. Use promo code Alamo to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Alamo. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
There is no bigger story in San Antonio right now than the Spurs as they face elimination, trailing the New York Knicks 3-1 heading into Game 5, which is tomorrow night. Luckily for them, that game is back here at the Forst Bank Center. Tip-off is set for 7:30, and that game will be televised on ABC.
Sports Center brought to you by SAPDcareers.com. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Must win. It's what the Spurs have to do tomorrow night. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Let's talk about it here on The Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Glad to have you along on this Friday afternoon on the radio, on one of the gazillion apps, online, YouTube, however you're watching, listening. Appreciate you as we get ready for a huge weekend in San Antonio with one question. Must win might be, and probably is, one of the most overrated cliches in sports, right? That happens all the time. And then you get the definition of must win, which is what the Spurs are facing now. Down 3-1 in the series. Just talked with PJ Carlesimo, and love talking to PJ. He is so great, and looking at some of the comments on YouTube, I know you guys enjoyed it, hearing from PJ Carlesimo. And he did say he expects bigger minutes from Luke Cornett. The Spurs injury report just got released, and Luke Cornett is on it. Luke Cornett is questionable with illness. I don't know what he's got, what he's dealing with this time of year. I would be surprised if Luke Cornett did not play tomorrow. But you do wonder if he's been dealing with something, could that factor in? I doubt it, because Wemby's just been playing a ton of minutes, and he's going to continue to play a ton of minutes. Fatigue is certainly a factor. In fact, Mitch Johnson, and I think that's one of the bigger challenges tonight, is managing Wemby's minutes tomorrow night for Mitch Johnson early, so he has enough gas left in the tank late.
Yeah, we've had that discussion throughout the season, right, of his buildup of minutes. He's played heavy minutes at times through the games, and that's where, again, all minutes aren't created equal. Some quarters are really slow, whether there's reviews or timeouts or not, where a game can get going like this. And I believe Mike may have asked after the game, and at the time I didn't feel any need, but looking back on it, I do believe that I have to make sure that I help him have the energy required to finish the game as strong as he needs to finish the game. And looking back on the game, I think I could have done better in that regard. And that's not a number of minutes, and that's not meaning he's going to play this many minutes tomorrow. I think it's just looking back on the game and that game in itself, I got to make sure that I help with that. And I think I could have been better in that regard for looking back from that game.
And again, it's easy to go back as a coach and watch the film and see all the mistakes. And it's far different when those guys are watching it than when you or I are watching it. And it's easy for us to be sitting at the bar, hanging out wherever you're watching the game, brew pub, wherever you are, in your living room, whatever, and you see them jacking up the threes. I do, while I disagree with it, understand what P.J. Carlesimo was saying and with all those threes. The idea that you continue to run your offense and trying not to play against a set New York defense, which is what P.J. said the Spurs were doing. But he did not like some of the shot choices, which I think we could all agree with. Me, I would rather run clock and shorten the game. P.J. Carlesimo has been a head coach in the league and an assistant for many, many, many years. He knows more basketball than all of us collectively, period. And I don't think he's just defending Mitch Johnson, because you listen to Mitch, he'll be critical, and it's justified. And coaches understand that's part of the deal. But it didn't work. They lost. Had they won the game, I think we would still be bitching about the number of threes, because they blew that lead. Even if they ended up winning, you still blew a damn lead, and then you hung on and survived, right? But the idea of continue to do what you do, run your offense. He made the analogy of the football teams that go into a prevent defense. And for a team like the Spurs, that's their offense, jacking up a lot of threes, I would have dialed it back. PJ said, you built the lead doing that. Keep doing what you're doing. I get what he's saying. It didn't work. I would do things differently. Mitch understands criticism is a part of the job. So does De'Aaron Fox. Although in a tweet, Jared Weiss from The Athletic, talking with De'Aaron Fox today about the criticism, quote, "It's not like people have my phone number and can call me. I don't watch those shows. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. You can't change it now. We're trying to move on from that." I don't know what De'Aaron Fox, what else he could say. I go with something that Antonio Daniels said yesterday on the Blitz, which you can go listen in the audio vault at sasportstar.com, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Antonio Daniels, who is a point guard in the NBA. He won a championship with the 99 Spurs. I mean, and I love De'Aaron Fox and his family. He's far better than I ever was in the NBA, and you knew the butt was coming. And when Antonio Daniels got to the butt, Antonio was seemingly disappointed. I don't want to put words in AD's mouth, but was seemingly disappointed that, yes, De'Aaron Fox did not make the right basketball play, the awareness of time and score, right? Bleed time, get to the free throw line. But Antonio was more upset that in the post-game locker room, De'Aaron Fox doubled down. Yeah, I was trying to outrun him. Thought I could outrun him. Not saying, yeah, I probably should have done that. And it concerns me a little bit, because since that play, and I'm glad De'Aaron Fox doesn't watch or listen to all these shows, because he's getting hammered. And I'm glad he doesn't spend a lot of time on social media, apparently, because he's getting hammered. Because there's all kinds of reels you can find of De'Aaron Fox and late-game mental mistakes. But that was simple basketball. There's one rolling around today. I even shared it on my story on Instagram, at Jason Minix. It was from the 05 finals. Spurs and Pistons. Spurs have a late lead. Pistons at the free throw line. The inbound pass, Manu Ginobili's breaking away, had a wide open layup. Instead, he dribbled out. Al Michaels on the call. Manu could have had the layup, but he's trying to take time off the clock. Detroit had to foul him. Manu goes to the line. Because that's what you do. You learn that in middle school. I hope De'Aaron Fox, he says we're trying to move on from that. Can and has moved on from that. That's bottom line. That's what he has to do. It's so interesting in that regard, because now I'm reading it on Twitter. X. I prefer to hear audio, and I didn't see De'Aaron Fox's coverage because I'd rather hear how guys are responding. And all the videos that I saw today, the body language speaks volumes to me. They all said all the right things, but it was their attitude. Like, yeah, they did flush it. They left it in New York, and let's move on for a Game 5. Don't let the Game 4 loss turn into a loss in Game 5 because you can't get over blowing a 29-point lead. Mentally, I don't know how they're going to do that. But watching them today, seeing the body language, and again, I was not physically there today because of the timing of everything with having to be at the studio. But those were the things I was watching for, especially not just the video clips you're going to see on TV of, Wemby on the podium and whatever the answer is, trying to watch some of the other video clips that reporters of just the guys walking around and their attitude and all of that. That was kind of what I wanted to see today. What was their mindset like? Was it what we typically see from this group? And it looked that way. I don't know how you flush it that quickly, and I don't know if it's kind of one of those turds that some of it goes down, but not all of it, and you still got a floater in there, and that wouldn't surprise me if you've got that kind of a hangover. But when that game tips off tomorrow night, while they say it's one game at a time, is that still in their head? And late in the game, where they've had two heartbreaking losses late, maybe three, but two that you would say heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, the Game 2 loss and the Game 4 loss. Go in the, I can't believe I just saw that category. That's gut-wrenching. I don't know how you get over that. Well, we saw that in Game 2, and we saw what the Spurs did in Game 3. We saw Game 4. Tomorrow night, we'll see what the Spurs can do in Game 5. Can they force a Game 6? That is the question. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We'll take your calls coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you need your logo on any kind of gear, you need promotional items made, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. Golf shirts, fishing shirts, dress shirts, you name it. Sam can get a logo on it, and he's got all the big-name brands from Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Port Authority, Travis Matthew, even now carries a full line of Tommy Bahama. Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, waiting for your logo. And, of course, he has all the popular cap brands as well. The Richardson 112-style trucker caps, Katie Caps, Nike Cap America. If you need T-shirts screen-printed, go see Sam. If you need uniforms, Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. And if you need signs done, his new sign shop can take care of your signs, banners, flags, card magnets, vehicle wraps, window decals, and so much more. Nobody has better pricing. No order too small, no order too big. And you know, Sam is the only company in Texas that offers a one-day turnaround. So call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410 across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 9 plant protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 mushroom coffee sticks. And now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's RADIO to 64,000.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
We have meaningful basketball being played in San Antonio for the first time in years, and you know the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to go watch the games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roof Hub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
San Antonio this Saturday, June 13th, 4 p.m., the Gunslingers are bringing the action to Freeman Coliseum for an epic superhero-themed game. Suit up, bring the family, and join us as we celebrate our Spurs during this action-packed afternoon of indoor football. First 1,000 fans get a limited edition superhero cape. And if you're heading to the big game later that evening right next door, come early, catch the Gunslingers first at 4, then just walk over. It's the perfect doubleheader. Tickets are going fast. Get yours now at sagunslingers.com or Ticketmaster.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Looking for your new favorite spot in Stone Oak? Head to Doghouse Beer Garden for the best gourmet all-beef hot dogs, handcrafted sausages, and premium smash burgers, all on grilled King's Hawaiian rolls. And check out their brand new menu. Watch all the games at Doghouse Beer Garden, Stone Oak. It's a full-service bar and grill with 24 rotating craft beers on draft, plus wine and signature cocktails. Open late for summer at Stone Oak Parkway in 281. See for yourself why this is where being in the Doghouse is fun. The Doghouse Beer Garden in Stone Oak.
All right, step up. If you really know the Rangers, this is your game on Rangers Game Day. Make your call in the morning huddles, Ranger Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger who takes one deep. He hits one, you're in. Ranger tickets. He hits two. Now we're talking tickets and a hotel stay. Big swings, big rewards. Wake up with the morning huddle and cash in with the morning huddles, Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on at 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel on vacation. He'll be back on Monday. Will the Spurs still have another game for Joe to talk about? That becomes the big question. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along. It's Friday. Let's have some fun on this Friday. I know I'm going to Rockbox tonight, and there's sometimes you get good news in the middle of the show. I'm going to go see Gene Loves Jezebel. That's who I want to go see. And I thought they were playing early, but my guy at the Rockbox just sent the set times for the bands tonight, and they go on at 9:50, which is perfect. I'm good with that. I thought they were going on a little bit early, but that works out. And you see the Toadies booked a show at Josabi's. That's going to be awesome. Toadies are fantastic. It's still a couple months away, but I like what they're doing over at Josabi's. More live music in the area is better. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 as we get ready for a Game 5 tomorrow night. Must-win game for the San Antonio Spurs. Will there be a Game 6? We phrased that perfectly on our YouTube page for our poll question today, so you guys can go over there and vote in the poll through sasportstar.com. Click on through YouTube or if you're there, because I really don't want to ask the question, will the Knicks celebrate on the Spurs home court? Although, by all accounts, there are going to be a lot of Knicks fans inside the Forst Bank Center. According to Game Time tickets, whatever that is, more than half of the Game 5 tickets have been purchased by fans in the New York, New Jersey area. They say 54% on the resale market. And I know we've had this conversation throughout the finals after the Knicks takeover of Games 1 and 2. And I was there for Game 2, and I was stunned at the number of Knicks fans that were there. And part of me, I don't get mad at Spurs fans for selling tickets. I know a lot of you do. I don't. If you're able to get that kind of money for your seats and you choose cash over going in that experience, man, that's your decision, your call. I don't blame you, especially with what some of these tickets apparently are selling for. And I know I'm still trying to buy tickets for tomorrow night's game. And I say that. Now, I'm using John over at Awesome Tickets because he's the best, and I'd rather shop local. But also I know he's going to find me the best seats and look for the best deal. Not just me, you. That's what John does. Online can't do that for you. But when you look at it, and I know because the Knicks have a chance to celebrate, and it's been forever since they've won anything, a lot of people are buying tickets, and they want to come here and party this weekend. So I get it, but it's making the tickets go up. Now, I'll play the long game and hope that those prices come down a little bit. And I've done that with John for years, especially with concert tickets, because I know eventually I'm going to it is what it is. I've gotten on planes and flown to other cities and be in an Uber or whatever on the way to the arena before I finally pull the trigger on whatever tickets I'm getting. And for the most part, the market does come down a little bit. And I can stomach waiting. I know a lot of you can't. Or you just like to go online for whatever reason and pay all those fees. No fees with John. Anyway, I know that I know what's happening in this market, and I get why New York is driving it up. And I don't know that there's truly anything that the Spurs can do about it, because I've seen a lot of people question that online. Well, why can't the Spurs do something? You can put the radius on there and all that. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's ways around it. People want to go to the game. They want to spend that kind of money. They are going to do that. And I promised my daughter a long time ago she'll get to go experience the finals, because when she was growing up, I mean, the Spurs won all their titles before she was really old enough to know what was going on. The 2014 title, she was, I think, a sophomore in high school. The cool part about that is we were at a Baskin-Robbins, and Patty Mills was still celebrating and walked into that Baskin-Robbins. And now she's a big Spurs fan, lives in Phoenix. She wants to go. I told her a long time ago we'd go, and it's costing me a hell of a lot more now than I thought it would, but I was committed to it. And then the question really does become, will there be a Game 6? And if there's a Game 6, will there be a Game 7? But all the Spurs players today, they understand what they're up against. And they understand that there will be a lot of New York fans in the building. Even De'Aaron Fox knows that it might not feel like a home game tomorrow night.
I mean, is that something people making money. It's the economy that we live in. It's the world that we live in. I mean, am I upset about it? No. Do I understand it? Sure. But I don't think that really changes kind of what happens on the court.
We'll see. I mean, the reality is the Knicks have been great on the road this season. I mean, they've been great this postseason. I mean, they had a 13-game win streak. So they've won, 8 straight on the road, which is insane. Can they win 3 straight in San Antonio against this team? They've been defying the odds. So has this young San Antonio Spurs team. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Joshua, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Nothing much, Jason. Appreciate hearing the story about how you're trying to be the number one dad by taking your daughter to the Spurs game. That's awesome. Making us all feel bad.
Yeah,
but hey, man, that's awesome. But my thing is, I think this 29-point blown lead is. I know we were all upset, but now after it's sunk in, I think it's going to be good for the Spurs because it's the final wake-up call. Because how many times have we talked about all season, Spurs are blowing a lead in the third quarter. Did you ever think that this 15-point lead against whatever team was safe? Did you think that this other team still had a shot to come back? I mean, even against the Knicks, they've had a 14-point lead in game 1, a 12-point lead in game 2, and the 29 in game 4. If they were a veteran team, you could say, yeah, they know how to, once they get the lead, we know how to keep it, and we know what to do. And I think this lead finally woke them up and says, hey, I understand what the great PJ Carlesimo, man who has a lot more basketball IQ than all of us, and says, you just need to run your offense, but I think it's kind of opened up their eyes to maybe our offense doesn't work great when we have a lead. Maybe we need to adjust our offense and do something different when you have a lead. So maybe this kind of helps them out because I like that the Spurs now know that they're playing nothing but away games. You're going to be playing in San Antonio, but it's a Knick crowd. So you're going to deal with the fans that are basically going to be moved in position so you can't make that pass like Karl Anthony Towns did with those fans on the sideline for that inbounds pass for Dylan Harper. So it's just, you're going to have to battle that. I think it's going to be good for the Spurs. I think they know what they're up against. And I think this team, for being so young and how they're built of us against the world, this is the one team that it is built and is so tight and close to me that can say, hey, we are willing to take on us against the world. They did it when you didn't think they were going to win 2 straight against Oklahoma City. I didn't think they would win 2 straight against Oklahoma City, but they came out and dominated with Game 7. So I'm going to believe in the Spurs team until they get eliminated. These young guys have shown, hey, they're going to mess up. They're kids. All kids mess up. It's just what happens. So, and to end us on a good note, guys, it's going to be an amazing weekend. And Jason, go out there and have fun at that Box of Rock and enjoy them concerts. And my daughter's potty trained, so let's all enjoy this.
Appreciate you, Joshua. I mean, you look at it and you think about, those big runs and the three-pointers and, PJ Carlesimo, who was on earlier in the show. And again, his basketball IQ, I'm not going to argue with it. He didn't like some of the threes that they were taking, but he liked the Spurs staying within their offense because of that philosophy. That's their offensive philosophy. I would not take that many threes. I don't know how you go an entire quarter and not get any points in the paint. That almost seems like an impossible thing to happen. But he did say he didn't like some of these shot selection. Me, keep passing the ball. Use shot clock or drive the lane. Get some easy twos. Because they had that one sequence, what was it, 8 threes in a row, 9 threes, whatever it was. It was awful. And if you've been around me watching some of these games, wherever I'm at whatever bar, Rue Pub, or like the other night over at Doghouse, I know even when the threes go in, I'm mad at they're taking them, especially that early in the shot clock. I've been bitched about that all season long. And the Spurs, when they're making their threes, tend to win. When not, they don't. And that's simple. That's everybody. It's a make or miss league. But at some point, don't take those. Take higher percentage shots. And you can have a pass-happy offense, but at some point, you have to run the football. That's the crazy thing. Everybody talks about, like in football, the West Coast offense. Well, it starts with the run game, right? I mean, coaches will tell you, except for Danny Closa when he was at Lee, he would just throw it every time. But in reality, and he's listening and texting, so I got to take that jab. But when you look at it, you still have to be able to run the football. At some point, instead of taking threes with 17, 18, 19 seconds on the shot clock in transition, make an extra pass and get into the paint. especially when you got a guy the size of Victor, or you got a player like Dylan Harper who can drive the lane and get a layup or a dunk, or a Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox with his mid-range. I mean, all that is possible and still within your offense. And you go from there. Although Devin Vassell said today, and that's, I think, one of the more surprising things about the blown leads, this is a great defensive team, and that is what the Spurs, according to Devin Vassell, kind of hang their hat on.
I think from the beginning of the season, we've hung our hat on the defensive end. And when we're not getting stops, when we're not communicating, when we're not doing the things that got us into position that got us a lead, everything else trickles down. So our offense is the same. We're not getting out in transition. We're not running the same sets that we're normally doing. And so I just think that at the end of the day, we've always said that we're a defensive team. And if we can stay doing that, even during the run, if we could cut down a run from it being a 20-4 run to a 10-4 run and getting stops, then we'll be all right.
And again, they've got to flush what happened, all the criticism that they've been hearing, and get ready for that Game 5 tomorrow night. We'll talk more about that. And, of course, take your phone calls. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let me tell you about Window Nation. You know, it is June now, and the weather is getting hot, and you know it's only going to get hotter. And you know exactly what that means. It means you're going to be running your air conditioner pretty much nonstop. Well, if you're like me, you don't want all that cold air going to the outside. But if your windows are bad, you know exactly that's what's going to happen. And that just adds to the money you're spending on your electric bill. Look, Window Nation is a great place to get those windows fixed, get them replaced. And right now is a great time to do that. They've got a sale going on. It's called Buy 4, Get 4 Free. Can you imagine replacing all your windows and getting half of them for free? That's a crazy deal. Plus, you can get them with no money down, no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. What a deal. You know this deal can't last that long. But Window Nation, they back them up with a lifetime warranty. They're also rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau. It is a great company to do business with. They're going to take care of you, whether it's now, a month from now, or 20 years from now, if you've got their windows in your house. Take advantage of Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Free sale. It's going on right now. Now, the sale's going to end soon. It has to. Too good of a deal. Go to windownation.com. That's windownation.com. That's how you book your consultation.
This World Cup season, there's only one place to experience every USA match with fellow fans. Social Spot in San Antonio. Join them for the ultimate World Cup watch parties featuring giant screens, delicious food, tasty snacks, ice-cold beer, and the electrifying atmosphere of soccer's biggest tournament. Bring your friends, wear your red, white, and blue, and cheer on Team USA every step of the way. Catch all the action at Social Spot, 930 Broadway. Social Spot and San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the 2026 World Cup watch parties. Don't miss a minute of the excitement.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Craft beers, full bar, hard kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, and massive LED screens. Attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit novobrew.com. That's NOVObrew.com.
Ever tried answering emails with kids running through the house? Coldplay Cove is the better way to work and parent. A modern family space where you can grab coffee, work, recharge, and connect while your child safely learns and plays nearby. Built for families, rooted in community. Learn more at coldplaycove.com.
Want to upgrade your ride and help Texas students? Here's your chance. Every year, Texas Yes sets up thousands of students for success with school supplies, literacy programs, and classroom grants. Enter the Drive Away for Education drawing, sponsored by Ansira Auto Group, and you could drive off in a brand new car, truck, or SUV. Plus, don't miss our weekly drawings. Every dollar goes straight to Texas schools and students. Grab your tickets right now at texasyesproject.org.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off Super Paint, Super Deck, and Woodscapes products June 12th through the 22nd. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
San Antonio, this Saturday at 4 p.m., catch the Gunslingers Superhero Game at Freeman Coliseum. The first 1,000 fans get a free custom superhero cape. Bring the family for nonstop action and fun. Tickets at sagunslingers.com. Be a hero Saturday.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA Finals. Are the Spurs still kicking, or are we talking their autopsy, Rob?
Oh, it's football season. OTAs matter now. Attendance is mandatory. We'll look at the camps. Who's there, who's not. Football season is almost or is here. We're starting to talk early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Spurs and the Knicks. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Will the Spurs survive Game 5 and force a Game 6? Great song from our friends from the band Kingdom Collapse. Go check them out. You think about the way they lost Game 4 is so devastating. In making sure that loss doesn't turn into a second loss. That's what Mitch Johnson certainly has to manage, especially with all the criticism, the fair criticism, I might add, that this team has received over the last 24, 48 hours. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagle's on vacation. I'm Jason Minix. You can get me on Twitter at Jason Minix. All the socials, Instagram, everything else, Facebook. Our YouTube page is available to you through sasportstar.com, or if you're on YouTube, just search out San Antonio Sports Star. Will there be a Game 6 is the poll question today. Pretty simple. Yes or no? 76% of you say yes. 24% of you are from New York. Or are you just living in the real world that it's over? And again, I'm not asking you, will the Spurs win a championship and be the second team that has rallied from down 3-1 to win a championship, but can they win on their home floor Saturday to give themselves another must-win back at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday night? Because truly, it's one game at a time, as cliche as it is. But I think one of the big things that they have to do in flushing everything is owning up to what went wrong and how they blew that lead. In fact, De'Aaron Fox was asked today what the film actually showed.
I mean, for us, it's what are we going to do whenever we get up 10? What are we going to do when we get up 15? Basically, every game we've had, some sort of a lead, and we're down 3-1. So we have to figure out how to sustain those leads, and then we have to figure out how to finish games.
And again, he's not going to give you the answers because it's obvious. They've had leads, and they've lost leads. Figure it out. They got one opportunity to figure it out. And if they do, they'll have another opportunity to figure it out. And if they do, we'll get a Game 7. That's what the mindset is. And still believe that they can get this done.
I mean, obviously it's frustrating to be down, but we still have this belief because we've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen it be done, that teams have come back from 3-1. But I think even with those series, it's like the games that they lost, they were losing by double digits. The games that we're losing, have all been close games. So we still have that belief that we have a chance to win, but we're taking this one game at a time. We're not looking at it as we need to win 3 games. We need to win tomorrow, and then we give ourselves a chance to play another game. And then you look at that next game. But we're not trying to fast forward. We're not trying to, take the easy way out, take shortcuts. We're looking at the game tomorrow, and that's the one game that we think about right now.
And again, they did not lose because De'Aaron Fox made a bad decision, a poor basketball decision, in my mind, and a lot of people's, at the end of the game. That's not why they lost the game. It factored in, and it's what we saw late. A chance to win the game, and some of his decision-making late factored into them losing. But it's not the reason they lost, but it's the last moments that we saw. And quite frankly, had Jalen Brunson's rebound not went right to where OG could tip it in, if it went off the side of the rim and the Spurs win, I think we're still criticizing De'Aaron Fox and his play down the stretch. In fact, I don't say I think. I know we would, because the Spurs would have survived that. De'Aaron Fox was asked today about the criticism that he's been receiving.
I mean, it's not like people have my phone number and can call me. I don't watch those shows. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. Can't change it now. And no one's just coming up and yelling at you in your face about it. So it is what it is. We're trying to move on from that. Obviously, continue to learn from the mistakes that we made and how we lost the lead or how we finished the game poorly. But we think about the next game.
And that's the right attitude that he has to have, and it's what he's got to tell you. I mean, Mitch Johnson even said the same thing. I mean, the criticism comes with the territory.
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody else. I don't get into social media. I think I've probably been fired 212 times, and we've traded Fox 72 times. And, unfortunately, we still got to show up and play tomorrow, and I got to coach. So the people that matter, we bond together. We stick together through the highs and lows. And, we were, I think, chosen to be in the play-in. And so there's a lot of things that happened. Fox and I were fortunate enough to experience All-Star Weekend together. We got a lot of positive after that. And we lost a tough game in the finals that we had a lot to do with in terms of we had control to walk that thing down. And that's what comes with the job. That's not more or less. And, people have their opinions, say what they say. I don't care. I care what the people that matter in our building and our organization in that locker room, that they know how I feel, and I hear them and how they feel. And De'Aaron Fox will have the basketball in his hands at the end of the game tomorrow, and I have nothing but the utmost confidence that he's going to deliver like he's done countless times for us.
You hear that. De'Aaron Fox's response and Mitch's response. And it's what it should be. The criticism comes with the job. They get paid a whole lot of money, but that is part of the deal. And Mitch knows, and he has the support of everybody in the front office. You blow a 29-point lead, though, there are a lot of questions, a lot of factors in, but everybody in that building understands. And they have more info than the rest of us. But when you see that happening, you look at the coach. I mean, generally speaking, if you've got a double-digit lead with a couple minutes left and you lose, first thing you do is you look at the coach, right? Because there's so many ways that they can stop the bleeding. And Mitch didn't stop the bleeding. And while he deserves the criticism that he's getting, the people that are already saying, fire Mitch, come on, dude. He's in the NBA Finals. De'Aaron Fox is in the NBA Finals. This group isn't here without De'Aaron Fox. Mitch Johnson, in his first year as a head coach, is in the NBA Finals. You can be mad at him. You can criticize him. But fired? We had a call yesterday. Well, you just go get Eric Spoelstra. Well, Eric's got a job, but he's not going to be available. That said, though, Mike Brown has done a phenomenal job coaching in this series. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. J4, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for taking my call. So I agree. It's when anyone who's been a coach, even if you're not in sports, if you've been a coach in business, a manager, a supervisor, and you have a team, what happened in that last game, it comes down to coaching. The reason why the New England Patriots were so good for as long as they were, why the Crimson Tide were so good as long as they were, why the Greg Popovich Spurs were as good as long as they were, why the Kansas City Chiefs are as good as long as they are, and people start to use the word dynasty, is because they do all the basic fundamentals and the little things extremely well, no matter what else is going on. It looked like the Spurs and I'm speaking especially about just the last play, got caught up in the emotion of the moment. Nobody boxed out. My little girl plays basketball, and I'm the guy yelling in the stands, box out. Every single play. Give your team a chance to get the rebound. Every time I watch that slow-mo, it makes me sick to my stomach because every single Spur just looks up like pretty orange ball. And then here comes New York running right in, seeing the opportunity just to tip the ball in. It makes me sick to my stomach. It's the little things, and those are coachable. So I think this loss does fall on Mitch Johnson. The same way when Wemby decides, when the tallest guy in the NBA, well, I don't know if Bol is taller than Wemby. I'd have to look that up. But when one of the tallest players in the NBA, Wembanyama, decides to take the last shot and does a jump shot, instead of posting up and trying to pump fake and get drawn a foul on, that comes down to coaching. I don't know any middle school coach that would have called that as the play to win the game. In both of these opportunities that we lost by 1 point, it comes down to coaching. So if I'm Mitch Johnson or anyone who can get in his ear, I know he already knows this, right? First year, NBA Finals, the guy's a freaking legend, and I'm excited for all the championships we will win. I don't believe this year is one of them. But these little things are only going to help the Spurs to grow, just like that previous caller Joshua said. But these two losses that we got by 1 point each, those come down to coaching in the moment. You stick to your guns and you do the basic fundamentals that you're supposed to do. I'll listen offline, guys. Thank you.
J4, appreciate the phone call. And again, Mitch deserves the criticism that he's getting. I think I've been pretty consistent with that over the last couple of days. What I love, though, is Mike Brown getting all the accolades, right? I'm a big fan of Mike Brown. And I know a lot of you think he's a idiot retread and shouldn't have gotten the job when he got the job in New York after he got fired in Sacramento. But that kind of comes with the territory of coaching. You know, the caller mentioned the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick, great coach, right? Had Tom Brady all those years, legendary player. Do you still think Bill Belichick is that kind of coach, seeing what he's doing at the University of North Carolina? You know, Nick Saban, great coach. Greg Popovich. And you know what? All those guys, all the great coaches, whether you're talking about a Pat Riley, a Phil Jackson, you name it, they all talk about a great coach can only have great players. Mitch Johnson is tied with Wemby, and they handpicked to replace a legend in Greg Popovich. And if they go win all the championships that are expected, then Mitch Johnson is going to go down as a legendary coach. Why? Because he's got a superstar player like Victor Wembanyama. If he were going to, I don't know, pick one of these teams that are bad and got fired in 3 years, everybody's going to say he sucks. And then he'll get a second job, and here we go with the retread. The one thing that I do think the Spurs need to look at, and it was pointed out at some point during this series, I forget who, but there is not another former head coach on his staff. Now, you might have Greg Popovich in your ear and available to counsel, but he's not on the bench. And I just wonder, some of these other former head coaches that go in, they become an assistant, like P.J. Carlesimo for many years. He went from head coach to assistant to head coach. You know, these guys all work even if they're not a head coach. But having that experience on the bench might be something they look at when they look at changes. And there will be changes because we know Sean Sweeney is off to be the head coach of Orlando, and he's kind of the defensive guru. But maybe they do need a guy with head coaching experience on the bench for situations like what we saw the other day. But Mitch Johnson, again, criticized for the way he has handled this series. And I think it's earned. If you blow a double-digit lead, in my mind, that starts with the coach. You blow a double-digit lead late, I'm looking at coaching first. The play he drew up for Wemby, and Wemby missed it. I know he's 7'5", and the caller was upset about the play call that was there. That was a play that Victor wants a lot, and he makes that shot 9 out of 10 times. I'm with you. I'd like to see him closer to the paint, but you know what the defense is doing? They're trying to keep him out of there. The inbounds pass the other day on the final play, the one that got tipped so the play never happened. You know, why weren't they trying to get it to Victor? Because did you see the defense that New York was putting on Victor? Got to look at everything that's going on. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Mario, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, Jason. I just want to reiterate the point you just made about double-digit leads. All playoffs long, the Spurs have blown double-digit leads against Portland, against Oklahoma City, the Knicks. The coaching, I give Mitch credit for the year, but in the playoffs, it has been highly questionable. And hopefully they do bring in someone with previous head coaching experience to get in his ear.
Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see what the staff looks like, because obviously there are going to be some changes because we know Sean is off to Orlando. Is it Meme? Meme, you're on the Blitz.
Meme, thank you. How you doing?
Good.
First, I want to say that I love the Spurs. They're a great team, and if there's a team out there that can come back and win 3, it's the Spurs. They have let New York get into their head physically and mentally. They've been dominated. But the bottom line here is the coach can draw up the plays, and yes, he has faltered and made some poor decisions. But it's up to the players also to carry out the play and to make the points. It's he can point the finger anywhere you want, but the bottom line is the Spurs can do it, and they got to believe it, and they got to just get out there and do it.
And again, when you hear the guys talking today, man, the confidence level seemed to be there. That was what I was looking for the media availability. Now, full disclosure, I was not there today because of the timing of when it was happening and when I have to be at the studio getting ready for the show. But watching all the videos, I wanted to kind of watch a little bit more body language. I wanted to see, were they mopey and just kind of going through the motions, still a little pissed off, or were they able to flush it? And it certainly felt like they were able to flush it. In fact, we'll hear from some of the Spurs that were on the podium today, including a very confident Victor Wembanyama, as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. But, you know, Sunday night, there's some football you can go watch. The San Antonio Toros. We got a family 4-pack of tickets to give away. They play Tall City Sunday night, 7 o'clock over at the Wheatley Heights Sports Complex. They're part of the COFL, you know, the Toros, and they're undefeated on the year. Have not allowed a point. Jerry Glanville, yeah, that guy, is their defensive coordinator. You can get tickets at COFLToros.com or be caller number 7 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Go watch some 11-man outdoor football Sunday night with the San Antonio Toros.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at SASportsStar.com.
You know what? With summertime being here, it is a great time to get out the golf clubs, get your friends together, and go play golf out at the Golf Club of Texas. It is a fantastic place to have a great day with your family, with your friends, whoever you want to go out there and play golf with. It's a perfect place. And in fact, with all the recent rains, that golf course is in excellent shape. It looks fantastic. In fact, you're going to think it's a private country club. It's not, though. It is open to the public 7 days a week. So you can go out there anytime. Doesn't have to be on the weekend. How about a Monday or Tuesday or any day that ends in Y for that matter? When you go out there hungry, though. You got to have lunch out at the Tin Cup Bar and Grill. That place is phenomenal. They've got all the best food out there. They can make you pretty much whatever you want, and it's not going to break the bank. Not to mention the fact they've got a full bar out there. Any kind of cocktail you want, they'll whip it up for you, plus a huge selection of ice-cold beer. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the Tin Cup or round with your buddies, your next tournament, go check them out. Best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
The Gomez Law Firm is San Antonio's leader in personal injury law, and we have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us to share more.
Number one priority is to let the people know that we are a law firm that's been part of this community for 50 years. Mr. Gomez, he's been a practicing attorney here since 1973. He's born and raised here in San Antonio, done nothing but help out personal injury victims. It's very important that we get that out to the San Antonio community because a lot of these attorneys like to come in here and act like they're from here, but you know, they're all out-of-towners. They don't know what goes on here. If you've been injured, if you've been involved in an accident, you've been involved in a car wreck, call the Gomez Law Firm. We've been around for almost 50 years. And we're not going anywhere.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow. Maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Some people reach a line and stop. Some hit a wall and turn around. Then there are the ones who cross the line, climb the wall, face obstacles, and turn them to their advantage. That's where we come in. We're the next rodeo. We design bold marketing that drives real growth. A creative partner for businesses ready to push forward beyond what's expected. The Next Rodeo. Learn more at thenextrodeo.com.
This Father's Day, do more with Dad and spend less with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him fired up with a new grill and accessories, like the Next Grill 5-burner for just $299, so you can spend more time together while he becomes the grill master he was always meant to be. or build memories with savings on top brand power tools so you can tackle projects side by side. Gift more and do more together this Father's Day with help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs, Knicks, Game 5 back here at the Forst Bank Center. San Antonio trails that best-of-7 series 3-1 as they are on the brink of elimination. Tip-off is set for 7:30 tomorrow night, and that game will be televised on ABC. In World Cup action tonight, USA opens up Group D play as they take on Paraguay at 8. It's a game that will be televised on Fox.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
But you only get one of those voices today. Reinagel is still on vacation. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on this Friday afternoon, the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Actually, a little bit of a early release day for us. Rangers and Red Sox coming up at 5:30, so about half hour left in today's show, and then I get to go start my weekend.
I was about to say, you got a concert to get to. Had to get you out early.
Exactly. Appreciate that. Now, that was scheduled before Pledge knew that I had plans tonight.
Oh, I knew you were going to see Gene Loves Jezebel.
Oh, did you know that?
Oh, I knew.
You just knew. You didn't even know they were playing until you put together What's on Tap.
Hey, that's what What's on Tap's for.
It's exactly what What's on Tap is for. Yeah, I'll be at the Rock Box later if you guys are looking for something to go do. Always good to go watch some live music. And quite honestly, little music therapy could do us all some good after what we saw in Game 4 before we get to Game 5 tomorrow night. And you think about the Game 4 collapse by the San Antonio Spurs. This is no surprise. The PR people with ESPN and ABC, they're raking it in. Game 4 of the 2026 NBA Finals was the most watched NBA Finals Game 4 since 1998, averaging 20.9 million viewers, peaking with 23.2 million at 10:15 our time. So far, the 2026 NBA Finals, the most watched through 4 games since 1998. So another record-setting audience for ABC. By the way, a 123% increase over last year, which was what, Indiana, Oklahoma City? So a whole lot of people saw the Spurs choke, and nobody offered the Heimlich maneuver. The question is, can Mitch Johnson get this team right before the game? And this is where, you know, the coaching on the floor obviously matters, but the leadership in the locker room, how he chooses to speak to the team, inspire the team. Will Greg Popovich have any words with the team? And we'll see. But it's not just Mitch, the leaders on this team. And that could simply be Victor Wembanyama. We have seen throughout this postseason, fourth quarters, with Vic leading the huddle, yelling, firing up, however the pop, I want some nasty, whatever you're hearing.
I want some nasty!
You're seeing that from Vic. And the one thing from Victor that I was really looking forward today was his demeanor, his attitude. And this guy talked about shaking off the heartbreak of Game 4.
We're very confident, but yeah, game. I wouldn't say it was so hard to just say like shake off, right? But harder than any other game before, by far, for sure. But I mean, now we're over it. It's the playoffs. There's no time to regret things for too long.
That's it. He's over it. They're over it. I hope that's true. And honestly, you can tell when guys are defeated, just body language. And that wasn't visible at the media availability today. Now, for the record, and I know I've said this, I was not physically there, but all the videos I saw, and I was looking for other reporters' videos more so than just what you see on the podium clipped up with just the answer, because I wanted to see kind of the attitude, the body language. And Victor Wembanyama, can this team go win 3 in a row? Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody knows we're going to do it. But I don't know if I agree with you. I feel like we need to isolate that one game and take it one game at a time. I think it'd be a mistake to waste our energy on different, on multiple games. It's one game at a time.
Play the beginning of that pledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody knows we're going to do it.
Everybody knows we're going to do it. Now, you're seeing that all over the place. Go back and listen to the question. And again, I did this with the Cleveland coach, because everybody was ripping him for one thing, or, you go and you see all these headlines. Everybody knows we're going to do it. Go listen to the question. The context there matters. But he is very confident. And of course, they've got to be. They know they got to go win one. And Devin Vassell said, go win Saturday. That's the mindset.
Just one game at a time. It's a lot of stuff that we watched and filmed that we feel like we can control and we can be better at. And so nothing is guaranteed, nothing is promised, but we know we at least got one game. And so we need to go 1-0, and whatever we need to do for that to happen, we're going to do that.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Let's go to the phones. And Tony, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, Jason, thank you for taking my call. I just kind of wanted to point out, when Pop was the head of the snake, I know he would tear into Duncan a few times when he would mess up, and I just haven't seen that from Mitch. I don't know if it's something where he doesn't want to get on his bad side or what it is, but there has to be a level of accountability on both ends. As far as Wemby, if he's tired, he needs to communicate. I'm tired, rather than just dragging. I know on one of the last plays I saw him barely walking up the court, and of course the staff needs to see that. But if he feels something, he needs to relate that. And as far as Mitch, he needs to call him out, and in front of the team, he needs to call him out like Pop did to Duncan. And he would put him in his place. You're never too big of a star to be called out by your coach.
I don't know that doesn't happen, Tony, and you don't know that doesn't happen. I mean, there have been times when you've heard Mitch Johnson in the media be critical of Vic. But Mitch handles the media differently than Greg Popovich did. But it still feels like it's the pop culture that was built. Those foundational pieces still are in place. The superstar treatment that Antonio Daniels has talked with us before does not happen here. And you think about Wemby comes over here with his own team. He's got his people around him, and they work together with the Spurs team. He's a different kind of superstar, but he is a superstar. But he and Mitch do have a great relationship.
Oh, very much. Very much. It's he understands people very well and knows how to speak to them. And I'm no exception. He knows how to speak to me. And in game, it feels like it's like nonverbal communication as much as verbal, because first of all, it's loud. Sometimes we're far away. And he knows what I need. He knows what I need to get to. And I know also, what he needs, what signals he needs. So, no, we've grown very much in that sense.
You hear that, and again, the level of trust. When you can hear a player like Wemby talk about the nonverbal communications, that's a level that generally takes a long time. Now, granted, Mitch was on the staff. Part of his promotion, I've got to believe, I don't know this for a fact, was that he has that relationship with Wemby. I mean, I'd be stunned if Wemby did not have some say in who was going to replace Greg Popovich. Now, I don't know that he made the decision. I'm certainly not saying that. But to think a star player isn't somewhat consulted is foolish. And they have that relationship. They were tied together since Wemby has shown up in San Antonio and long before Greg Popovich stepped down. And let's face it, we all know Greg Popovich didn't say, all right, I've coached enough, it's time to go. But their relationship is fine. And Mitch calling people out, he's not the drill sergeant. He's not going all Serbian like a Greg Popovich does. But listen to that dude's voice. Go back and listen to what it sounded like in September and listen to what it's like now. He yells. You can tell. He yells. Hey, Jason, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, good afternoon. I'm calling in from Connecticut, one of the few Spurs fans here. Been a Spurs fan 30 years, watched all of their games this season, even preseason. The one thing that concerns me and I wanted to ask you about is a lot of the mistakes we're seeing in the playoffs have actually happened in the regular season.
Yep.
So when I watch the press conferences and I don't hear Mitch specifically address some of the things that we've been seeing all season, that kind of concerns me. Another thing is in Game 2 and in Game 4, there's been a clear disorganization around the Spurs getting the ball in the hands of the point guard. Wemby, I believe Fox was on the floor with Castle, and it's like they want Fox to be the point guard, but you paid they want Castle to be the point guard, but you paid Fox $40-50 million to close out the game. So what are your thoughts on kind of Mitch taking and acknowledging, hey, specifically when we have a big lead and we're running our offense, we can't take shots, 22, 21 seconds into the shot clock. Because I feel if they would have at least
Jason,
moved the ball.
I've been bitching about that forever. We had PJ Carlesimo on earlier today. And go back and listen to it. He was on at 3:30 San Antonio time if you're up there, or the audio vault at sasportstar.com. And I asked PJ that question. And one of the things that PJ said, now I don't necessarily agree with it, but I mean, PJ Carlesimo is PJ Carlesimo. In that second half, the Spurs are running their offense. They didn't want to go into a prevent type of defense like you see a lot of football teams do and they lose. They were trying to keep their foot on the gas pedal and running the offense before the Knicks could set up defensively. And the threes are a part of the offense. I would rather them not take the threes. PJ said there were some shots he did not like the shot selection. That comes down to decision-making, but he did not seem to have a problem. I don't want to put words in his mouth. Go back and listen to it. He did not seem to have a problem with the Spurs continuing to play their style of basketball as opposed to reverting into a prevent defense. For me, I would have said no more threes and use the shot clock. I hated all those. And not just the other night, this entire year. You're jacking up threes with 16, 17, 18 seconds on the shot clock. You miss. You don't get the rebound, and it's points the other way. 29-point lead. We all knew the Knicks would make a run. They've done it all postseason. Look at the Cleveland game. Shorten the game by using as much of the clock. That extra pass. Play the beautiful game that we saw in 2014. Take from what was a good shot, pass it into a great shot. And, if you're jacking up a three with 5 on the shot clock, all right, cool. But work it inside. You got a 7'5" guy. I would have done everything to try to shorten that game. And we see this Spurs team. They have leads and blow double-digit leads all the time because of crap like that. A transition three with a lot of time left on the shot clock. They miss it. They don't get the rebound, and it's 2 points or 3 points the other way. Again, it's frustrating, but this is a team that's in the NBA Finals. So we bitch about it, but then you go, but they are in the NBA Finals, and this is what they've been doing all year. I don't know. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Our YouTube poll, will there be a Game 6? Right now it's 75-25. Only 181 votes today. Go vote. Get that over 200. Get to YouTube through sasportstar.com. Or if you're on YouTube, search out San Antonio Sports Star. We're back with more of your calls coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
Why are you dressed like that? You look poor. Dude, you're in a prison jumpsuit. You look poor.
Well, his texts are green.
What's wrong with your clothes? You look poor. Well, that's why I always tell Rob when he says those green texts. Why are your texts green? You look poor.
I know. Poor people.
Oh.
I'm with you. I used to make fun of guys like me. I get it.
Galana says, you text green like a poor. You text like a poor person with your green bubble. B. Hannon says, a girl stopped talking to me because I sent her a green text.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Boy, sports here in San Antonio has just been phenomenal. Spurs in the playoffs. We've got the World Cup coming up as well, and there is no better place to watch any and all of it than Novo Brewery. It is there at North Star Mall. What you do is you come in from the Rector Street entrance. Novo Brewery has its own entrance from the parking lot, or you can come in through the mall. Either way, you're going to get to Novo Brewery, and once you're in there, you're going to love this place. Whether it's the cocktails that they can get you, because they do have a full bar, they've got all kinds of beer on tap, domestic beer, and they've also got 60 craft beers on tap. Then the food, that's another story entirely. They have got everything from wings to picanha skewers to burgers, sandwiches, all the way up to ribeye steaks. It is a fantastic place to take your friends, take your family. They can accommodate pretty much any kind of size crew that you have. Go out there and check them out, because once you do, it is going to be a part of your sports viewing rotation. You want to check them out before you head out there? You can do that. NovoBrew.com. That is NOVO Brew.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQBar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQBar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ bar products, plus free shipping. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 9 plant protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 mushroom coffee sticks. And now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's RADIO to 64,000.
'Twas the night before Father's Day, and all through the house, Dad slept in his recliner, completely passed out. Magellan Outdoors and Titleist win the night as Dad dreams of gifts from Academy, the kind he'd like. Because tomorrow's not just Father's Day, you see. It's Dad Christmas at Academy. Line up before the doors open on Saturday, June 13th to score a promo card worth up to $500. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Fun can't lose. Select Austin and San Antonio Academy stores. No purchase necessary. Open to Texas residents 18 or older. Visit academy.com/official rules.
This Father's Day, join the Blitz live at Coldplay Cove in Stone Oak. Enjoy Dad and Me sports activities, coffee tastings, giveaways, raffles, and family fun built for modern families. Grab your tickets now through the events page at coldplaycove.com.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
San Antonio, this Saturday at 4 p.m., catch the Gunslingers Superhero Game at Freeman Coliseum. The first 1,000 fans get a free custom superhero cape. Bring the family for nonstop action and fun. Tickets at sagunslingers.com. Be a hero Saturday.
Looking for your new favorite spot in Stone Oak? Head to Doghouse Beer Garden for the best gourmet all-beef hot dogs, handcrafted sausages, and premium smash burgers, all on grilled King's Hawaiian rolls. And check out their brand new menu. Watch all the games at Doghouse Beer Garden, Stone Oak. It's a full-service bar and grill with 24 rotating craft beers on draft, plus wine and signature cocktails. Open late for summer at Stone Oak Parkway in 281. See for yourself why this is where being in the Doghouse is fun. The Doghouse Beer Garden in Stone Oak.
This World Cup update on San Antonio Sports Star is brought to you by Twin Peaks.
You could win unmatched views of the match during the Twin Peaks Go for the Gold giveaway presented by Michelob Ultra and Casamigos. Visit TwinPeaksSoccer.com to enter for your chance to win by June 14th. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update, sponsored by Henkel, official partner of U.S. Soccer. A lot has changed since the last time the U.S. hosted a World Cup game. That was 1994, and back then there was no Major League Soccer. The U.S. had not been in the World Cup for 44 years and certainly didn't have players who play in the best leagues in the world like they have now. Tonight in Los Angeles, it's the U.S. versus Paraguay, with the U.S. considered to be a slight favorite. Both coaches are from Argentina. The new U.S. coach is Mauricio Pochettino. While he's not American, the Canadian coach, Jesse Marsch, is. He played and coached in MLS in Canada, who had an 0-6 World Cup record in its history. Today got a 1-1 tie with Bosnia in Toronto. The Canadians tying the game in the 78th minute with just their third ever World Cup goal. So both teams get 1 point in Group B. With this World Soccer Update, John Stashower, Westwood One Sports.
Gear up for the games this summer. Henkel's Summer of Soccer Sweepstakes is giving fans the chance to win the new 2026 U.S. Men's National Team jersey and U.S. Soccer Store gift cards. Everything you need to show up and support the home team, so don't miss out. No purchase necessary. Starts May 16th and ends June 15th, 2026. Must be 18 and a resident of the contiguous United States. Visit HenkelSoccerSweeps.com for official rules. Sponsored by Henkel. Henkel, proud partner of U.S. Soccer.
The right tools aren't optional. They're essential. That's why pros trust Napa for the equipment that gets the job done right. From Milwaukee fuel sets, sockets, and impacts that deliver power when you need it, to Carlisle hand tools and sets built for precision and durability, Napa stocks the professional-grade tools that keep your base productive and your business moving. Find what you're looking for right now at Napa. Available in-store or NapaOnline.com.
San Antonio and New York. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Must win. Down 3-1. Saturday night, you're either going to see the Spurs win or the Knicks celebrate. A New York type sent me a DM. So he was there in 99. He hopes that the Knicks return the favor. You know, they have a middle finger emoji. I used it. You think about this game coming up tomorrow night. The way they lost Game 4, I'm glad there's 2 days, because I don't know that they could have played today. Tomorrow, another story. But as we get ready for the game tomorrow, James, you said somebody else sent you a new Spurs theme song. Who's this from? Do you know any details on it?
I think it's called Rideshare Encounters. It's Jackal Signal 33. Go Spurs, go.
All right. That's
All
better.
right, folks, buckle up. Got a die-hard Spurs fan in the back tonight. We're warping through downtown SA, and apparently Victor Wembanyama just beamed down from another planet. Pulled up to the rim, passenger jumps in with glow sticks. Paris, Eiffel Tower, signal beaming, Wimby tricks from the 210 tower of the America's needle top. Tinfoil hat receiver catching 33 beams that never stop. 7-4 géant arms like tentacle stretch, blocking shots from orbit, leaving defenses erect. Dribbles through hyperspace, 3-pointers from the moon. Crowd going crazy under the Alamo lights. Boom! Wemby the phenomenon, taking over the game from another dimension, but he knows our name. Spurs in the playoffs, the spaceship is rising. UConn in the 2-1-10, everybody synthesizing. Phenomenon, stretch those arms wide. He's rewriting the league, no place left to hide. Wemby the phenomenon, beam him up, coach. San Antonio's got la conexion, let's approach. Passenger does the sound effects, zap, block shot. Claims the rim is a portal, the ball's a comet hot. Paris labs grew him tall, Eiffel beams control. 33 to 2 tuna relays it all. Explique les ailes, bro. Traffic lights flashing like landing strips below. We swerve past the arena, horns honking in the flow. He tips extra big with the glowing Wemby grin. Next game I'm riding shotgun. Wemby est un phénomène. Jackal invasion non-stop. Let's do this again. Trust but verify. I tell him with a laugh.
All right, that's not Ego Mendoza by any stretch. I did have championship in there. We'll see how that one does because, Ego is struggling, kind of like Eric Corgi. Just saying. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Let's get in one more call before we start our weekend. Steve, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
I don't know if I'm the only one, but I was waiting to just see Mitch lay into some of the players. You saw that lead starting to come down. You saw them slacking off. Call a timeout, yell at them, pull up somebody off of the court, something. I don't know if it's a generational thing, but just wanted to check on your take. Do they not yell at players now because of the softness, or what do you think?
I mean, they do, and he does, and you saw him a lot more fiery, especially in the Oklahoma City series, but that's not what he tends to do. I mean, we've seen, while this is his first year as the head coach, he was an interim coach, and he's just not that way. And again, he knows his players and what strings to pull and how to get the best out of them. But I know we all want, like when things aren't going well, go Serbian on him. He's not Greg Popovich. He's got his own style. And the one thing, whether I agree with it or not, that I respect about what Mitch Johnson does is he's been consistent. He's been consistent all year long, even with things I disagree with. He's consistent with it. If he lost his mind and did something way out of character, all his players will look at him and say he's not ready for the moment. And that wouldn't be good either. So we'll see. Monday morning, 6 a.m., the morning huddle will get going. The first reaction of either there will be a Game 6 or what a great season, but we're pissed off. We're back on Monday at 2. Rangers baseball is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
This is RSN, Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. It is